Having the right people with the right dynamics, we all recognize that everybody's got their own part to play. I mean, everybody works together. We have field technicians, but they recognize that we got an office staff and we got guys in the warehouse that are supporting them out in the field.
I came in not having any experience at all, and everybody was really warm and welcoming as far as, learning new things and on the pace as far as my own pace.
I think one of the favorite things about Seneca for me are the people. A lot of great talent, and just really fun people to talk to and to be with. We continue to grow and advance and go into new states, new opportunities. So it's been a great home for me, and I think it could be a great home for others as well.
I transferred from Waste Solutions to our construction division, and it was a lateral move, but a lot more opportunities to grow within the company. And I'm just hoping to continue efficiency and process improvement, which are things that I really enjoy doing, and Seneca's given me an opportunity to explore that. Continuously throughout my entire career with Seneca, they've always been able to allow me to change up my role based on what I was needing, what I wanted, and get to kind of choose where my success is going to be.
A couple of first days I was here, I was, I don't know, maybe fortunate enough to meet the owner and his son, and I mean, usually you don't do that, you know, but they're you know, they walk through the building and you know, they're like, you know, one of the people here.
To live a life and be solely focused on profit is pretty shallow. I mean, it matters, that's what drives everything, but it's not the end all be all, right? And it can certainly be impacted by only focusing myopically on that one thing. I mean, we accomplish what we set out to do as a business, but more importantly, we set out and helped other people accomplish what they wanted to in their careers. We helped our customers grow their businesses. We really were a part of something really great.
Seneca's always been encouraging to, like, put your family first. I wanted to be able to drop my kid off in the morning, so if there were weather delays, you know, 2-hour school delays, I would just call and say, hey, like, I can't drop my kid off. And they were like, oh, that's fine, like, we'll see you when you get here. I've never worked for a company that's been so welcoming to that.
When I moved down here, the primary reason was my wife was from here, and her mom had advanced Alzheimer's. So when we were kind of on the fence where we were going to move, it made sense for us to be down here. And so as a technician, that's when I was working in the field, and I was probably about 2 hours away on an install. Well, that's when I got the phone call that my mother-in-law had slipped and they were moving her into hospice because she had broken her hip. I made one phone call and they dispatched 2 technicians to come relieve me. You know, even my father-in-law was like, wow, you got a great group of guys you work with. I'm like, no doubt.
They could trust that their team is going to catch them if they ever need a safety net. We're there for you.
Anybody that's looking for a challenge, you know, that wants to use their hands, use their head, it's a unique trade that we do.
I would say come work here. I mean, if you're looking for a career, then this is the place for you.
Ever since their triumph in 2021, Menace have been waiting for the chance to defend it. Tonight is the dawn of that defense, but this year's Central Conference bracket will put them up against stronger opposition than ever. First-round opponent Kaw Valley FC have title ambitions of their own, but only one club's dreams will live on. It's do-or-die time in West Des Moines, and the road to the title starts right here. Good evening and welcome to live coverage of the USL 2 National Playoffs in the Central Conference on the Central Iowa Sports Network. With Justin Forster alongside me, I'm Danny Catula saying welcome in to the press box atop Valley Stadium in West Des Moines, Iowa. Justin, us at Menace have been waiting a long time for this one, and we know Kaw Valley have as well. Two sides that know each other. They've played each other before. Menace have had the better of the all-time series, but that's not to say that Kaw Valley haven't been competitive and that they couldn't be competitive today.
They have been competitive. They haven't beaten the Menace yet. They're in the playoffs. It's different. It could change the tides come tonight. Obviously, for the fans out there, they're hoping not.
Absolutely. And that's what we're looking forward to. For Menace, this is a club that has a lot of history, not just against Kaw Valley, not just, in the Heartland Division, which Kaw Valley is still in, but across the league. This is a team that last year went all the way. They've beaten teams from all types of different conferences, But before you get to any of that, it starts right here and right now. How do you keep yourself grounded with so much to look forward to, but you've got to get this job done tonight?
Yeah, but it's like that with both teams. You know, you've got to get the job done tonight. And, you know, I think the Menace coming in tonight as the champions, there's a lot of expectation and the standards. It's about the players just keeping a cool head and going out there and doing the jobs that the coaching staff have done all season with them and trained them.
You speak about the coaching staff. Head coach Dean Johnson in his first year with Menace. Obviously, so much pressure to repeat the feat from last year. But, I mean, what are you expecting from him tactically going up against the Kaw Valley side that like to score goals?
Well, the gaffer, Dean, I mean, he's got ice in his veins, doesn't he? He's just so calm and collective. Like, he acts like there's no pressure in that. But I think he's not going to change much, to be honest with you, in the style of play that he plays. But I do know that Kaw Valley like to get their left back and right back higher up the field, which will leave gaps in behind. And, you know, with some of the additions that the Menace have brought in, I can mention names now, but with the pace up front, I think might expose them.
Absolutely. And when we think about what you're seeing on your screen right now, these fans, these supporters, they've come out in droves. It's the opening round, but it feels like a championship with the atmosphere, the vibe that's in here. What does that do for Menace, especially on their home ground?
Well, it says a lot because the fans are now they're starting to get a feel of this throughout the season. You know, in the championship game, there was 7,000 fans here, and it was filled in the second tier here. The second tier here in the first round of the playoffs is now filling up.
Incredible stuff. And we're excited to bring it all to you live on CISN. We'll take a quick break here and be right back with more pre-match coverage between Kaw Valley and Des Moines Menace in just a moment on CISN.
The Chicken in Orilla is a classic roadhouse joint serving chicken any way you want. All hand-cut, hand-breaded, and 100% satisfying. Chicken, just like your mama used to make. Bring the whole fam for all their favorites, and chicken so good you'll know why we could only call ourselves the Chicken. In the middle of nowhere, but just minutes from everywhere. With over 260 beers on tap, El Bait Shop isn't just another craft beer bar. It's the best. Beer lovers know El Bait Shop, 200 Southwest 2nd, Des Moines.
At DeArmond Ford Indianola and DeArmond Automotive Knoxville, we want you to experience the DeArmond difference.
My dad and I are in the dealership every day to ensure your ownership experience is exceptional.
We're completing phase 2 of our major reconstruction project at our Indianola location, providing a state-of-the-art customer lounge and waiting area and soon-to-be all-new showroom, reinvesting back into our communities.
DeArmond Ford Indianola and DeArmond Automotive Knoxville. Experience the DeArmond difference today. DeArmondAuto.com.
Missing a quality home-cooked meal? You know, the kind Mom used to make? Lucky for you, we found her recipe book. Welcome to the High Life. Welcome to the Champagne of Bars.
Obsessively, relentlessly at your service. To me, it means being there 24/7, rain or shine, during storms, after storms.
Being a first responder to the community, to my customers.
Being there to get the customers back on and to see the smiles on their face.
To provide the kind of reliability that we can hold our heads high about.
And we want to keep our customers safe. Safety's first around here.
And that's rewarding.
Hello again, and welcome back to pre-match coverage of the Central Conference Playoffs, live on YouTube and 11 Sports. Joined by Justin Forrester, I'm Danny Catula, setting the stage for the opening round of playoffs between Des Moines Menace and the visiting Cranes of Kaw Valley. Justin, let's get an idea of where Menace come from. Last week, it was a 2-0 win over Peoria, but they were made to wait a while to get the opening goal, and there was plenty of adversity in that one.
Peoria made it really, really hard for the Menace last weekend, as you can see here, with their first chance of the match as they cut inside here. Right-footed strike from wide. Great save there by Joey Fiorini. Here we have Neville Morgan on the left-hand side, who's been crucial this season with a couple of great goals from nothing. Just strikes from an acute angle. Keeper did well to save it over the bar. Here, Brandon Birmingham gets the ball wide. In the wide area where he likes to cut in onto his lethal right foot. Too many white jerseys behind him. Manages to get it through, but again, it was saved by the Peoria goalkeeper, who had a fantastic game. There was a lot of physicality in the game. Goldthorpe, just a rush of blood to the head there. There was a couple of yellow cards thrown around when Larson, the referee, came in. And here's the first goal for the Menace. Riley Kraft delivers that man 0 on at the far post. Collects his own rebound, bangs it into the back of the net, and what a celebration this was. His somersault towards the corner flag, but well placed in there. You can see the excitement in him. He got man of the match here. Bad back pass from the pressure. It was that man, Vega, who stepped in to grab the ball, and his interception calmly placed past the goal. 2-0 to the Menace.
Vega, the second goal scorer to put that one away, put the nail in the coffin. Unfortunately, he's not available in the 11 or the 18 this week. But with Menace, you never have to worry too much about an individual player. You've got so much depth, so much quality in this team, and that shows this evening. We've got new players coming in, players who have been with us all season, and we can expect a lot of quality in this team. Let's take a moment to scout the opposition. Kaw Valley, the Cranes, established in 2017, is a club with a decent amount of history for that short of a time period. When you look at Menace, they've been around, over 2 decades, but Kaw Valley, in their own right, have a lot of experience, and they've made the playoffs a couple of times in those few short years.
They've gone up in games 2-0, and then they've conceded silly goals. They're known to concede goals, and like I spoke to you earlier on, they do leave themselves exposed at the back for counter-attacks. They do have a leaky defense.
Yeah, they do, and sometimes they can use their attack to kind of make up for it as these kind of 2 familiar foes take place. I mean, Menace know this about Kaw Valley, is if they're going to win matches, it's because they're scoring goals, not necessarily because they're being tidy at the back. That's just what you've got to keep in mind with opposition like this.
Yeah, and when you look at Kaw Valley, I mean, it's a different side. A majority of their players come from Methodist College, who have been successful in the NAIA. They have a fantastic coach who is the head coach of the college. But, players to watch out for. Theo Klein is the top goal scorer this season. But having said that, their centre-back, Tiago Diaz, is also the top goal scorer this season as well. So you've got a centre-back, also probably goes up for the set plays. We'll get to see that in a moment.
Absolutely. He's got a lot of goal-scoring talent for a defender. And let's go ahead and scout the Menace while we're at it. Grant Makala's back, first of all. Good to have him back in the 11. He's been injured. He's missed a couple of matches in a row, and Joey Petruni's done a good job in his place. But Grant Makala, the first-choice keeper, great to have him back in.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, obviously, he was probably sweating, obviously, with the injury, but glad to have him back. But Joey Petruni was fantastic last weekend. He pulled off a fantastic save with his right hand that led to the Menace goal moments later on.
And you see that stat on the screen. It's not a typo. 19 matches. Menace have been unbeaten. They lead the all-time series against Kaw Valley with 4 wins and 2 draws. They've never lost. Again, these 2 teams know each other well from previous seasons, both being in the Heartland Division until 2022. Now that you know what both teams are coming with, give you an idea of what this means to Kaw Valley. They came seemingly from nowhere to grab the second playoff spot on the Heartland Division this year, and with just a few match days remaining, they were on the outside looking in behind a couple of teams in front of them. Clutch performances down the stretch were enough to get them through a very competitive Heartland Division. But now they face the most difficult test of all, which is taking out the defending champions. Those defending champions are kicking off their title defense tonight, and you'll see it live momentarily. Stick with us on CISN.
The largest selection of German beer in the world? You'll find it at the Hessen House. From Doppelbocks to Oktoberfest to Hefeweizens and Dunkels, there's no passport needed for the deliciously different beer and food at the Hessen House. So grab your friends and make it a fun night out. The Hessen House, 4th and Court, Des Moines.
Hi, it's Amanda with Holt's Plumbing and Heating. With inventory tight, Holt not only anticipated the need, but took the risk of stocking up on our most popular products. While our competitors scramble to find furnaces, air conditioners, and water heaters, we have plenty of stock, ready to be installed. Even though we have extra products, now we see demand at an all-time high. To sweeten the deal, we are also offering 0% financing on your new purchase. Just one more reason why more and more Central Iowans are saying, let Holt handle that.
There's a new spin on casual dining near Drake University. Lucky Horse Beer and Burgers. Craveable faves, flatbreads, delicious burgers, frozen cocktails, and a crazy cool vibe. Get to Lucky Horse Beer and Burgers today.
There's more Iowa in the Iowa Tap Room than you may realize. Housed in a building nearly as old as Iowa itself, the Iowa Tap Room greets you with a harvest of 120 Iowa craft beers on tap from all corners of the state. And the food doesn't get much more Iowa than this. The Iowa Tap Room, all Iowa beer, one amazing place.
Hi, I'm Joe the Car Guy with Westside Auto. I'm excited to tell you about our new lifetime oil change plan. When you purchase our plan, you'll never have to pay for an oil change again. If you get a different car, simply transfer the plan over. If that car's oil needs are different than your original plan, just pay the difference. It couldn't be simpler. You won't have to worry about inflation or prices going up. Give us a call at Westside Auto Pros to get details on the lifetime oil change plan. And remember, when I say lifetime, I mean your lifetime, not just your car's.
You're tuned in to the USL League 2 National Playoffs in the Central Conference on CISN. After we witnessed a dramatic penalty shootout earlier today, the winner of this match knows that they'll be playing Kingshammer FC this Sunday at 7 p.m. in the conference semifinal. In the meantime, another Central semifinal is taking shape over in Flint, Michigan, where we've got Chicago FC United, who took down Peoria City. They're moving on to most likely play Flint City Bucks. As of the last check, at halftime in that match, it was 3-0 in favor of the home side, Flint City. So we're most likely set up for Chicago FC United taking on Flint City Bucks in the other side of the Central Conference semis. The last team standing from Flint and here in West Des Moines will meet for the Central Conference crown next week. And also something to keep in mind, Menace could be in a bit of trouble given the way that other one seeds have fared. 2 other one seeds have already lost, and one of them is tied in the second half. Quick break from us for the national anthem, and back in a moment on CISN.
The Royal Mile, where everyone's a wee bit British. The Royal Mile is downtown Des Moines' living room with classic pub favourites. Pair them with a glass of whiskey or an expertly poured Guinness. It's bloody brilliant. The Royal Mile, a proper British pub.
Hi, this is Chris from Fireplace Superstore, and it's going to be an interesting patio furniture season this year. We have ordered a ton of merchandise, but due to supply chain issues, it's coming in a truckload at a time all summer long. If you want the best patio furniture, check early and check often. If you want to custom order your furniture, get in here as soon as you can to give your furniture the best chance to arrive this summer. Fireplace Superstore, Iowa's best patio furniture selection, just east of I-35 on Douglas Avenue.
Not too many places hit all the right notes. But when it comes to great atmosphere and delicious scratch-made food, Truman's is the name to know. Game days are for Chiefs fans, but every day is for the food fans. Truman's, get to know us by name.
Need orthopedic care today? DMOS Orthopedic Urgent Injury Clinics in Ankeny and West Des Moines are open 6 days a week. No appointment necessary. Our 2 convenient walk-in clinics offer you full access to dedicated orthopedic specialists. Wait times and costs are generally less than an ER visit. Check hours of operation and wait times instantly at DMOS.com. DMOS Urgent Injury Clinics in Ankeny and West Des Moines, helping you get back to living.
Match day at the home of Des Moines Menace, the 1-seeded Menace taking on 6-seeded Kaw Valley FC. A lot to play for here, both teams with their seasons on the line, and two teams with half an eye on a lot longer of a playoff run than just tonight. Menace have just watched in front of them, and Kaw Valley have as well, a dramatic penalty shootout. I don't think either team would like to make it go that late. They'd like to get things figured out and get a goal early. We didn't get any goals in the first 90 minutes of the previous match between Kingshammer and Kalamazoo. Justin, what will it take for either team to get an opening goal quickly?
Well, you talk about the nerves. The opponents, Menace and Kaw Valley, were just standing there watching this, and they got butterflies and nerves on end. I think we're going to have some goals in this match. We're looking at a squad with the Menace as far as their front line with Riley Kraft, Elliot Goldthorpe, and then Shaft Brewer Jr., who is now being included in the squad this week. For Kaw Valley, it's getting the outside backs forward. They're lethal there, but they will leave space in behind. They will be exposed.
Kaw Valley starting 11 in goal, number 1 Colin Welsh. Vitor Tornes is the left back wearing number 16. Cameron Caldwell wears number 3. Tiago Diaz wearing number 4 in center back positions. Wilfred Niamsi is number 5 on the right side of defense. Stefano Campisi, Aaron Keita, and Bryce Dickerson are in central midfield. Theo Klein figures to be the right winger. His left winger counterpart will be Guilherme Pereira, and Junior Kazim is the striker. 3 goals and 2 assists in 10 matches this year. For Menace, Grant Makala's back in goal. Corey Cupid, Zeron Sewell, and Connor Lincoln are the defenders left to right. Neville Morgan and Gianluca Fiorini are your left and right wing backs, respectively. Luka Nedic and Lance Roseboom, who had a red card overturned, and he will be eligible tonight. They're in defensive midfield. Riley Kraft's the attacking midfielder who's been there all season long for Menace. Elliot Goldthorpe is on the right in front, and his strike force partner is newbie to Menace, Shaft Brewer Jr. With that underway at Valley Stadium, Menace looking to kick off a long postseason campaign and hopefully at the end of it repeat as national champions. Kaw Valley would like to do the same.
Well, Kaw Valley were looking to get right in behind the Menace right off the bat. Ball was overhead. Cupid let that go into Makala just so he could get his first touch on the ball.
Kaw Valley hailing from Lawrence, Kansas. Well, 3 or 4 hours away, not too long of a drive. Known as the Cranes, is early on neither side able to do a whole lot with this. Menace getting onto the ball though. Still in the first minute of play. This one's set long, and it might find Brewer. It does for a moment, but he's dispossessed quickly. Going down in midfield is Roseboom, but no mercy from the referee. Down this left side, it could be a chance for Pereira on the left wing. Gives it to Kazim. Kazim with it. Makes a move, has a go at goal, and the first shot on goal goes to Kaw Valley, but Grant Makala easily equal to that.
Yeah, it was just in the moment of transition. During that challenge there with Brewer Jr., the center back went down, and I believe it was Tiago Diaz. We can't get a look at the number right now, but just out of your screen, as you'll see now at this particular moment.
Yeah, still trying to figure out who that is, but again, for Kaw Valley, defense isn't necessarily what they hang their hat on. It's going forward and scoring, so if you lose a defender this early, it doesn't look like they will. Diaz is going to get right back up, but I mean, those are guys who are going to have to be very careful and make sure that they dispatch themselves as safely and as effectively as they can.
Absolutely, and you don't want to lose a centre back this early in the game. He got up, no problem at all. He just shakes it off. But already he was under the pressure of Brewer Jr., who we all know played for LAFC and just come off a stint in Norway.
Absolutely. He was traded a couple of years ago to that brand new LAFC side in 2018, the expansion team. $50,000 and a super draft pick was the price that he afforded just a few years ago. As you mentioned, spent some time with Fram Larvik in Norway, and now he's back stateside. Lance Roseboom sends this one long up the left, and Brewer was his target. Doesn't work out. And a Kaw Valley throw.
Well, the Menace are obviously happy about having Lance Roseboom back after having his red card overturned, and rightfully so. His leadership means a lot to this team as far as just getting them going and getting the lads all organized. And it means a lot. They need him out there. He'll hold in the midfield, and alongside him he's got Nedic. Nedic has been wonderful this season, you know. I mean, he's a destroyer. He's in with the tackles, breaking up play, distributing, you name it.
6 yellow cards on the season, and that gives you an idea of his role, just breaking up attacking plays for the opposition. Like you say, Justin, hails from Lincoln, Nebraska, but His heritage is Bosnian. Goes back every year to his native Bosnia and speaks it as a first language. Here come Kaw Valley getting forward, and that's well defended. Another chance potentially for Pereira. Central midfield, played forward for Kazim. They'll move it out right. To the right wing, looks like Theo Klein. Tries to get a ball in, and nothing doing there, so Menace will have a chance to relieve some pressure. Kaw Valley not afraid to take shots early on, and again, this surprises no one. That's their MO. They're going to put shots on goal, and if they're going to score, it's going to be by volume of shots rather than, you know, patiently waiting and trying to find exactly the right one. They'd rather just put something on goal and see what happens.
Oh, I mean, they're not sitting back here letting the Menace come at them and go for it, you know, in the counter-attack and that. They're going to go for this. I mean, it's a different side. There's some quality in it. There's a reason why they're here. They beat the St. Louis Lions in their last match 1-0. And they're here to compete. I mean, we're expecting a fantastic match here with some great matchups, definitely, as the ref blows for a foul there.
That one's going to go against Neville Morgan, and he's got to be careful making contact with the referee. That can sometimes be disciplined, but this time referee says no. It will be a foul against Morgan, and Kaw Valley will have a chance to kick this one forward, and again, getting into attacking territory, putting the Menace on the back foot. Seems like the best way to approach playing a team like Menace that dominate the ball and love to have the ball at their feet, love to possess. If you take the game to them, makes things a little bit different and it forces them to get a bit uncomfortable. Another foul against Menace there. This time, Luka Nedic, the guilty party. We mentioned him a moment ago. Goes to Iowa Western, the community college out by Omaha. Plays for the Reavers there. So we'll see a free kick coming, and it'll come from Stefano Campisi. About 35 yards out or so. And it'll be interesting to see strategically what Kaw Valley decide to do. Menace, one of the bigger teams, especially on the back line. Zeron Sewell, a big reason why, 6'2" in the middle. Hard to get aerial balls in. They'll play a lower aerial ball to the top of the box, and that is defended easily by Menace.
Speaking of, it was Zeron Sewell. Sewell just stepping up and side footing the ball out for clearance on the far side for a throw-in to Kaw Valley.
Long throw in, and it's met by the Kaw Valley attacker. This one crossed in. Was looking to find a head in the middle of the park, but didn't work out that way. Grant Makala doing a good job making sure that ball doesn't go out of play. And he will roll this one out. Corey Cupid's got it. It's a great switch of play. A lot of space for Gianluca Fiorini, but he doesn't get there first. Fair challenge, though, and Kaw Valley can come in the other direction. Good interception by Nedic. Exactly what Justin mentioned a moment ago. Those are the plays that he likes to break up in midfield. Fiorini sends it forward. Elliot Goldthorpe trying to turn around his defender. That's Wilfred Niamsi that time. Playing out at left back, it appears. And that will give Gianluca Fiorini a throw in, the Italian. Goldthorpe picks it up again, and that one touched him last, so Niamsi will usher it out and force a throw for Kaw Valley.
And that was Corey Cupid looking for the switch of play into Fiorini very early. Just that switch in the point of attack. We saw them do it in training the other day. But also, the ball wasn't really a particularly good one, and that's why it was intercepted. He had to go into that challenge. He could have got hurt there. However, Menace won it back, and a throw into Kaw Valley deep in their half.
Long, high throw in, and Kaw Valley are able to win possession from it. Send it out down the right flank. And that one won't go anywhere, except over the touchline, and Menace have a throw into their own. Neville Morgan and Corey Cupid out there on the left side of defense have been pretty frustrated with the referee's decisions already in 8 minutes. Hasn't taken them long.
We always know what the start's like as far as how the Menace start off, and obviously we spoke about this before, and go for it, press, really go at Kaw Valley, but you know, Kaw Valley, a quality side, and they're ready for this anyway.
Another throw down this left wing. Shaft Brewer was there, and in the end, Riley Kraft goes down and will win Menace a free kick. And you see how far Menace advance here, and they just want to play it through midfield like they're doing now. Goldthorpe plays it out to Brewer. Brewer can be effective in these areas. Moves it out to the left side. Has a go. It's well charged down. Still in an area of danger for Caw Valley, and now they change that with a clearance.
Brewer was closed down by 2 players on that left-hand side. Absolutely just closed them down. One of them was Tiago Diaz.
That one from Grant Makala is into the stands. And as a result, it'll go to Caw Valley at midfield. Throw in long. Headed back. Menace with some good pressure. Now they'll win it back with Fiorini. He can't hold on. Come the other way. Here come the Cranes. Langen is pleading his case that it went off Caw Valley last, but referee disagrees. And we'll see a pretty deep throw in the attacking territory for Caw Valley out of Lawrence. Looks like Cameron Caldwell will throw it in. Caldwell played with Next Academy in Brazil. He's from Rio de Janeiro. This one headed back out. Menace trying to clear the danger. They do so, but it's still in the area. Caldwell. Now with it, Campisi. From Milan, Italy, puts it in. Kazim was on the end of it for a moment. Caldwell goes down. Referee says nothing. Play on. Headed away by Zeron Sewell. Still a danger. Caw Valley moving it out to the right flank. Made back centrally. A long shot from distance, and Makala had to be aware. Makes an athletic save at his near post.
I'll tell you what, there was a great strike out there from the far side. Cutting in onto his left foot was Tiago Diaz, and as you know, he was up there for the initial set play. Diaz on the ball, cutting it onto his left foot, and Makala with a save, just keeping the ball out of the goal.
Headed forward by Neville Morgan, and going down in a heap is Brewer, but referee hasn't been super interested in little kind of ticky-tack fouls. He looks like he wants to let these players play it out as much as possible. Always interesting to see how that affects one team or another, the decisions and the kind of guidelines that the referee sets early on. This ball sent long by Caw Valley. They've liked this right side of attack early on. Corey Cupid is just going to try and shield it out of play, and he will just about get it done. It's a lot of work for a goal kick, but Corey Cupid, one of the harder workers on this team, more than willing to do it.
Well, they do like to attack down the right-hand side to Caw Valley. They like to get the right back involved, overlapping. Most of their goals, a couple of the goals from the previous games have come from the right flank.
So Grant Makala will order his defensive troops forward, as we expect him to send this one away nice and long. Away it goes, just as planned. In midfield, Roseboom is going for the header, but instead won by Caw Valley. Here they come the other direction. Again, it's this right side. Maybe a chance for Kazim. Now he'll play it back. Campisi with it. He'll go for goal. That one's blocked. Roseboom clears away, not too far out. Bryce Dickerson gets it out wide. Diaz plays it in. Headed away again. Menace on the back foot, but they've defended well. This one's long for Shaft Brewer. Is he onside? No, he's not. Referee flagging for that, but even if not, the goalkeeper, Colin Welsh, was equal to it.
Colin Welsh did well. They obviously knows about Brewer and his pace and getting in behind him. Possibly the Menace looking to get the ball in behind us. Played a high line and well taken care of there.
The back line, it's Niamsi. Excellent move to dispatch Goldthorpe. Left him in the dust, and in midfield, going down Caw Valley, they'll win a free kick. Nedic not pleased, and now that's the second time he's given away a foul, and the center referee just going to have a conversation with him and remind him he can't get too many of those over the course of the match, or yellow card for accumulation becomes something in your future.
Well, Nedic has got to be really careful. As you're looking at this again, he goes into the challenge from behind, just roughing up the player on the ball there, bringing him to ground. Yeah, he's been warned once already. He's got a second warning. He's just got to be careful.
So a chance to send this one deep. It's Wilfred Niamsi. Looking to boot it long. He will do. Sends it to the right wing. Headed back into the area. Could be dangerous for Caw Valley. Partially cleared. A flick on will get it all the way out. for Menace. Elliot Goldthorpe has his shirt pulled. He'll play it back. Medic sends it long, goes down as he does. Niamsi with a header away. Battle for the ball there. It's won by Fiorini. Now Nedic. And we'll go back. Referee thinking about playing advantage, but once he saw there was none to be had, Menace will get this free kick in their own end.
It's definitely a midfield battle out there, and you can see it. It's evenly matched in the midfield. The Menace have just got to make sure they're on their toes. Core Valley are creating some passages of play. They're finding the through balls through the passing lanes into feet. Just an area of the field that probably needs to be closed down by the Menace.
It's usually a hallmark of their play is how well they can control the match through midfield. Caw Valley win the ball and they'll have advantage. They can carry on with this attacking chance. It is promising. Pereira on the left side wants to cut in. He will. Does he have enough space to shoot? He does. He'll have a go at goal, and it's a curled effort just over the bar. It finds its way into the society in the end, but it wasn't far from goal.
Well, I'll tell you what, Pereira, I'm surprised about that because he was running into traffic. He was cutting in. He was looking for that opportunity to shoot. A couple of dummies, as you see here, in the pink socks. Off he goes, fakes a shot, goes again, manages to get the shot and surprisingly just goes over the bar. And some strike, but just too much on it.
Grant Makala will gladly watch it go over his goal any day. And about ready to send it into the evening sky. Out it goes from the Florida International Panther, at least formerly of FIU. He was a graduate student last year and used his last year of eligibility. Crunching challenge that time from Niamsi. Goldthorpe goes down, but he'll pick it up and lose it once more. Pereira came back to win it. He'll give it up just as quickly. No one able to hold on to possession at the moment. This one sent long. Brewer trying to hold it up. Couldn't do so. Brewer, for the majority of his professional career, has been an outside back. So interesting to see him up front. It's something we expected from Menace that we've talked to Coach Johnson about. But at the same time, it's a new position for him. And you imagine, as talented as he is, it shouldn't matter too much. But at the same time, you're kind of learning on the fly in a situation like this.
I think, you know, playing in this league is very competitive, but I think he has the ability to play any position. He's very versatile. I believe he has played up front before in the 9, so he shows a bit of pace. I've just been watching his movement off the shoulders of the centre backs. Both centre backs have done really well taking care of him so far. But yeah, he's definitely going to be a threat throughout the whole game. But just the centre backs have to keep an eye on them. That's both Thiago Diaz and Niamsi.
We'll see a brief pause in play. The referee just going to have a quick conversation with a couple of players, Riley Kraft being one of those in Menace black and red. I've got to say, speaking of jersey colors, I really do love this strip that Caw Valley's brought today. Anytime there's pink in a soccer shirt or a kit, I always love to see it.
Yeah, absolutely, because it's for cancer awareness. So I think it's fantastic, and it goes to show something. I mean, it means a lot.
Yeah, it does. Got to speak with the head coach of Caw Valley, Alex Nichols, in his second year with the club. Jack Rose, Jasper Krasinski, and Brian Turner, his assistants, by the way. But he talked about how last year, returning from COVID, it was an especially tough year for Caw Valley. And this year's resolve to get back into the top 2 is something that's been one of his big positives. Play comes in on a throw-in for Caw Valley, and that will yield a corner. But and as I was mentioning, they know that the playing Menace will be a challenge, but both these teams have really good sides. He likes his team's quality up against Menace, even though they're one of the best in the nation. And he mentioned that his players always want to be the best, and if you're going to be the best, you've got to beat teams like this.
Yeah, absolutely. But that's what the game's about.
We'll see a corner kick. They could potentially see Caw go ahead. Player goes down in the area. Referee doesn't budge. And that one will travel over the goal line. Menace get away with one. They've given up a couple of corners, a couple of chances. Caw Valley, again, we expected this. They're taking this game to Menace, and Menace are doing just enough right now to hold on to the clean sheet.
Yes, they are. It was an overhit corner, so really just a waste of a set piece. But as you can see here, the Menace are trying to play out of the back, and you can see how Caw Valley are set up. You see the gaps between the fields. They're pressing high. They don't want them to play out. They're forcing them long, and this is what Core Valley want, and they want to be able to pick up the second balls.
That one is headed well out of play, so Menace will earn a throw in. Neville Morgan, the left wing back, will take it. He's from Westmoreland, Jamaica, went to St. Elizabeth Technical College for his high school ball. There's a chance for Goldthorpe potentially. He'll play it back, Roseboom. Curled ball out wide, Fiordini will wisely send it back. Connor Lingen will try a ball out wide again. It's Brewer, gets his head on it to nowhere in particular. Neville Morgan played that one back into the center of the pitch, and Caw Valley have picked it up. They can go the other way. Back line now, Diaz. Diaz from Portimao, Portugal. Plays for the Coffeyville Community College Red Ravens. It's not a school that we've had anybody from here at Menace this season. A small school out there in Kansas, but a lot of quality in that team. That's something you tend to see at community colleges in American soccer. It's just so much talent that's hidden that you never get seen, and it's leagues like USL League 2 and clubs like Caw Valley that give players like Thiago Diaz that chance to have a bit of exposure that's very deserved.
Yeah, you know what, there's a few diamonds in the rough out there. I mean, there's a lot of quality in the community colleges, and I think, you know, what happens is a lot of schools that will USL League 2 teams, they'll go looking for the big D1 players, but I tell you what, there's a lot of quality players in the JUCO leagues, even the NAIA, and they need to get looked at. And I know that Menace have had a few coming through, and we've got Iowa Western Community College players here. One had to go back home to Italy.
Bad giveaway. Pressure from Caw Valley gives him the ball back. Could be a chance to cross in here. Tricky dribbling move, but all it yields is another corner kick for Caw Valley. Menace were able to stay home with Fiorini and Langen there. Going over to take it is Stefano Campisi, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, Will. Milan, Italy native, one of a host of Central Methodist Eagles on this team, and many at Menace will remember Alessandro Salvadego, our striker, also from CMU, but doesn't feature in the squad tonight. Caw Valley still on the ball. It's a masterclass in possession and chance creation for them early on. This cross comes in, again deflected, and again a corner kick.
Well, as that ball came out, Menace couldn't quite clear their lines. It was picked up in the midfield by Cameron Caldwell, sprayed the ball back out to the corner taker, Stefano Campisi. He's a quality player, as you could see there. He's just won his team another corner, and he's going to take it.
Campisi with a lot of quality on this right foot. Looks like he'll go with an in-swinger. He will. Far post. No one quite that far out. And a goal kick's the result.
I think he's looking for somebody to peel off onto the far post. Nobody's doing it, and I think it's kind of frustrating him a bit. And he's looking, you can tell in the way his body language is.
Grant Makala's body language to see on camera, meanwhile, is one of maybe a bit of frustration and just the collectedness from a guy like that. He's been around for a long time. His first PDL experience, which of course PDL is what USL League 2 was formerly known under, was in 2012. He played for 3 seasons in high school with the Panama City Beach Pirates, and now of course here with Menace many years later. Given away. Brewer gave it up that time. Good from Caw Valley to hold on to possession. Right side of midfield. Back to the center. Long ball headed away. Makala's out of position, gets back. Caw Valley not able to get anything on goal while Makala was on the ground. But maybe a ball crossed in. No, it'll be straight at goal. Corey Cupid blocks it. Still a chance for Caw Valley. Surveying options. Long shot again, it's blocked. It's been the order of business for Menace so far. Chance to break. Goldthorpe, heavy challenge. Doesn't come up with the ball. I think it was Riley Kraft in the end rather than Goldthorpe. Looks like Goldthorpe's kind of moved out to that left side, and there he is on the ball. Gives it away for Brewer. Brewer and Goldthorpe to the races. Kraft behind them. Brewer moves out to his left, 30 yards from goal. Has to turn around, had 2 players on him. Kraft sees it, gives it to Roseboom. Has to check up a bit. Switch of play, forward for Fiorini. Cuts back now. Top of the box. Goldthorpe! An incredible one-handed save. That would have been quite the opener. Still in the area. Foul against Rosebloom. And that is how the first clear chance for Menace turns out. 23 minutes gone. That was the one that really could have put Menace ahead.
Yeah, also a quick switch of play there by Lance Roseboom. Looking for Fiorini on our near side here. Fiorini getting a great ball in here, as you can see, with his right foot across goal. Goldthorpe coming in, closed down tremendously there. Well defended, Lance. Lance giving away a free kick just on the edge of the box. But a player from Core Valley, he goes down injured in the box. All right, here's my point, okay? Goes down injured in the box. I see the coaching staff are complaining. He's in the box, but his teammates carry on playing because they keep possession, right? They've kept the ball, they're shooting. Their players down. The Menace counter-attack, their players start complaining about the player down. Okay, so why don't you just kick it out, right? Goal-scoring opportunities. Goes both ways.
All those little time-wasting moves and things that you can kind of bring into the game that have nothing to do with the game that sometimes can affect results. And seeing some of those from both sides this evening. 25 minutes or thereabouts gone so far, and no score between Kaw Valley FC and Des Moines Menace. Again, Kaw Valley, the 6th seed, coming from Lawrence, Kansas, the home of the University of Kansas. Play at Rock Chalk Park, which is, of course, Kansas's home soccer venue, and now we'll see a free kick for Menace. Fiorini goes down in a heap.
There's a brave header there from Fiorini going into the challenge. He definitely was. I mean, he rode the tackle. He saw the player, a defender coming in over his right shoulder, didn't pull out, still went for it. Won his team a free kick inside his own half, and Makela will step up and take it.
Makela playing in his 9th match for Menace this season. He's booked 24 saves. A couple of players getting heads on it. Brewer trying to find the end of it. Just a little bit too long for him. Colin Welsh will pick it up in orange for Kaw Valley. Caldwell sends it long. On the ball now, Pereira. Long ball out right, and not the accuracy that was required on that occasion. Graham Makela's got it. Makela, one of the bigger goalkeepers you'll see. Goalkeepers are already some of the bigger players on the pitch, but he's 6'5", 200 pounds. It's a hard guy to get the ball past.
Yeah, definitely is a massive frame and difficult to get it past. But you can see the Menace now have settled into the game just after 25 minutes, coming up 26 minutes. But Core Valley have had the momentum and most of the half pressing the Menace with a couple of shots on goal and some chances.
Here's Brewer, tricky footwork, plays the ball into the middle, and no one is there for Menace. Fiorini might try again, he will. Goldthorpe's there, the header well over the bar. Menace would like the referee to consider a foul. He won't, and it's a goal kick. Kraft is complaining, he's trying to plead his case. He thought he went down on his header there.
As you look at the free kick, as you look at this again, Fiorini just controls the ball. And this is what he's good at, delivering the ball with his right foot. Kraft going up, ball just behind him. Feels like he got a little bit of a nudge from Tiago Diaz, but the referee wasn't going to hear anything of it.
And Diaz in that scenario knows what he's doing. He knows exactly how much he can apply a little bit of pressure physically before, you know, that potential penalty call. You just got to kind of get that balance right as a center back.
Yeah, and it's just a little nudge. That's all it takes, just to off-put the striker like he did here with Riley Kraft. Riley Kraft, he likes to get forward and he likes to break from the midfield. Dangerous. This could either affect him in like a really positive way where you'll just come back and you'll be effective towards the game and maybe score a goal or have an impact some way.
Kaw Valley with it on this left side. They've liked the outside wings as far as attacking options. But we'll now see a Kaw Valley throw in. It'll be Cameron Caldwell to take it. Long throw in from Caldwell. He saw a run that he liked. He'll see it again. Challenge comes in from Kraft. He has not been hesitant to slide in today. Langen will clear it for Menace, and it's out for a Cranes throw-in. If you're wondering, by the way, why Kaw Valley FC are known as the Cranes. They're known as the Cranes in a nod to the waterfowl that live in the Kaw Valley River area where they call home. Also a development partner of Sporting Kansas City, so you'll see some brand elements of Sporting KC in their crest. Shot from long distance on the half volley. It's well over the bar in the end. Such a tough technique to figure out, that one. It looks a lot easier when the ball's coming right at you.
Yeah, it definitely is. You know, and that was junior Kazim. Kazim, just very difficult type of volley to take. Technique has got to be absolutely perfect, but they've had a couple of chances, have Kaw Valley, as the players go off for their water break.
Yeah, 29th minute here, and we will see a referee-mandated hydration break, or a drinks break sometimes it's called. Junior Kazim, we mentioned a moment ago, one of the many Central Methodist Eagles on this Kaw Valley team, is his 11th match of the season tonight. He's got 3 goals and 2 assists up top, 2 yellow cards as well. He played 4 sports in high school, so a very well-rounded athlete. He's played for Club Atletico St. Louis and Muskegon Risers up in Michigan in the NPSL in the past, and now playing his trade with Kaw Valley. One of those guys that has been around in the lower leagues and probably has that talent, that ability to go another level beyond.
Well, we call that a journeyman sometimes, you know, just being around the block with their experiences, and here he is with Kaw Valley. Kazim playing up front, quality play. He's shown some really good glimpses of play here and great technique. He likes to dribble, likes to take on players. I think this water break might kill momentum for one team at least, that's for sure. I know Menace have been soaking up some pressure and counter-attacking, and they've been effective with that, actually. I mean, they've been very, very effective. But one thing they haven't been allowed to do is play the ball out the back.
You wonder if that'll change, if they'll try to make that an emphasis in these last 15 minutes, or if they try to resort to something else, with Kaw Valley seemingly taking that away pretty effectively.
Yeah, they might have to, because I know this is something they've worked on, getting that ball forward with a purpose, like direct with a purpose. But you can see here, I mean, the communication there to Morgan wasn't clear enough as he tried to spin his defender. He does win the throw because it was a deflection. But I can see what's happening here is Goldthorpe or Kraft will come in short, creating space, and they're trying to get Brewer in behind.
Good header away on the back line for Kaw Valley, and that will result in a Cranes throw-in on the far side. Yeah, that back line has had a couple of tests, not too many, but the tests that they have faced from Menace have been some pretty dangerous ones, and they've been up to the task early.
Yes, I mean, they've done well defending, though. I mean, they've taken care of Brewer, but you've got to do that for 90 minutes at the end of the day, and it just takes one chance, you know. Like we say, a lack of concentration that allows them in, or allows Goldthorpe or Kraft, or Morgan down the left-hand side. But like we always say, it's moments in the game, margins, changes. I mean, this is what it's about. But as you can see, still 0-0, and the Menace have contained the momentum from Kaw Valley. Kaw Valley have come out very, very strong. I have seen some of the footage of their last games, and they definitely look a team to watch out for.
In comes this ball. It's dangerous. 2 players there, and so very nearly the opener on a header. It's out for a corner instead.
Well, that looked like Sewer. As Makela came out, though, I think he was calling, wasn't quite going to get to that. We might see the replay in a bit. Here it comes. The ball played in, no pressure, allowed to play that in with his left foot. It did come off Makela, just slightly glanced, but that was Langen in on the far post, or possibly Fiorini. I'll get a look at that. Just covering on the far post, just in case.
In comes a ball from Kaw Valley. Another corner, back into the area. Top of the box, a header in the right direction, but cleared away. And Brewer will latch onto it, but too much pressure on him. He loses possession. Coming the other way, Kaw Valley, a run of steam. Left side. A shot off of a defender. I wonder if that was purposeful, actually, to just clip it off of the defender in front of him. It almost looked it, but 33 minutes gone. Creative. Nothing comes of it. Still 0-0.
Well, Kazim breaking through there, gets a ball on his right foot. As you can see, he had a lot of pace, but we see Goldthorpe breaking through right now.
Elliot Goldthorpe can play it square to a couple of players. He'll go for goal himself, and he's chipped the keeper for the opener. Des Moines Menace lead 1-0 at Valley.
Wow. from the run of play, Danny, from the run of play, from that corner kick, ball going out, from soaking up pressure to a counter-attack. But Goldthorpe did all the legwork there, winning the ball, dispossessing the defender. Little deflection there. Did it cross the line first before Liamsi got there? I think it did, and the goal goes to Goldthorpe, plus the assist because he won it.
Indeed. I mean, what a brilliant idea this is. I thought he had chipped the keeper, but it actually came off Caldwell. You see it right there, that little touch. But you saw where he wanted to put it. He had it in that far post, just tucked in, and Caldwell's deflection put it in a different way. But so effective from Elliot Goldthorpe. That's something that last match out he was a little bit disappointed by. You saw the frustration when he missed a couple of clear-cut chances. Now he finishes his first one. Got to do wonders for the confidence.
Well, that's what he needed. He needed the goal after last week. You know, he knows that he never had the best game of his life. But I tell you what, he's made up amends, and that's putting it out mentally. The past of the past is here today, and I'm sure his dad Jimmo up in Leeds, Yorkshire, will be really happy with that. He's probably bouncing up and down on the couch right now.
Can't speak to that, but I'm sure he is excited. We should get a camera of the Goldthorpe family on their couch and just see what their reactions are. I'd like to see that. But Luka Nedic will head this one out. Caw Valley certainly not going away. 1-0 in the 35th minute, but Caw Valley have probably created the majority of the chances, and they're continuing to create them right now. Fiorini will play it back, and Langen got it forward to him. Actually, it was Nedic that time. Huge challenge comes in midfield, and that will go out for a Menace goal kick.
That was Aaron Keita, I believe. No. Yep, Aaron Keita coming in with that challenge. He's been solid. I mean, he doesn't mess around, but Fiorini's taken a few challenges, but you know what? He gets knocked down, he gets straight back up, and he's ready to go.
If you're wondering, Elliot Goldthorpe has 6 goals on the season. That's good for the best goal scoring record on this Menace team. Connor Lincoln sends this one long, and it's out of play. It did touch Caw Valley last. A quick throw in, but the referee decides it's pretty far back. Unfortunate for Menace, but I do think it's the right decision. Shaft Brewer wanted to get that out quickly and take advantage of the opportunity, but this one was all the way back towards midfield.
Yeah, I saw the AR's flag come up for, it looked like offside, and then he signaled for a throw in there, so obviously a deflection. The lines are deceiving because they are darker lines. It's very deceiving during the night games.
Long throw in for Gianluca Fiorini. That brings up a good point here at Valley Stadium. One of the best press boxes in high school football anywhere, and in USL League 2 soccer, of course. And it's a great venue. It is a little bit high up, though. At times when it gets dark, it can be difficult to see. Far side throw in, Caw Valley will have it.
The view is definitely fantastic.
Oh, it's
from
incredible.
Here.
My fellow interns at Des Moines Menace tend to get a bit jealous. We'll talk about it, and we'll go over our favorite parts of the match. And for me, it's usually the view or something I got to see up here, something on a replay, and it's always fun to not necessarily rub it in, but to enjoy it. Yet another throw-in for Caw Valley. On this right side especially, but on both sides, they've been very keen on going to the outsides and trying to find things there. Victor Tournais will play this one in. And a header towards goal. That was dangerous. It touched Menace last for a corner.
Yeah, just skimmed off the head of the Menace defender there. Going out for a corner, another corner to Caw Valley. And again, it's going to be Stefano Campisi to take it. This time he's going to swing it out.
Looks like he will. Campisi with his right foot, which is his dominant. And the referee just whistling to try and quell a little bit of physicality here. Corey Cupid ends up knocking down, I believe, Tournais, perhaps. And so now, well, nope, referee still decides he wants to have another chat. And it's these little things that you've got to get right as a referee. We saw a game go to penalties last time. So much quality in both these sides and so much on the line. You want to make sure you've got everything just as it should be. Here comes Campisi to take this corner. Another outswinger. Top of the box. Rising up to head it. And contact with Grant Makela, but no foul will result. Makela picks it up anyway. Dangerous chance.
Yeah, it was a decent corner played in. Outswinger there by Campisi. Header wasn't powerful enough, not headed straight down into the ground. Makela was kind of easy for Makela to pick up at the end of the day while he was under pressure. He is a big frame, he held on to it well. What a ball there into Fiorini.
Fiorini trying to play it farther forward and knocks it off of Caldwell in the end. A push and no foul. So Caw Valley will continue. They'll lose it though. Menace trying to run up this right side. Caw Valley want a handball. They won't get one. Well, keeping it in there was Niamsi. No plant in midfield. And this one goes all the way back. Beating Shaft Brewer and going to Colin Welch. Good pressure that time. Menace can't win a throw in, but it's just kind of keeping Caw Valley from what they did in the first 20 minutes or so. Before that hydration break, I think a lot's changed since then. Menace have been more aggressive in their pressure.
Spoke about a momentum change, but you can see how composed Caw Valley are under pressure, just knocking the ball around at the back. Ended up winning a throw-in off it from a deflection of Fiorini.
Brewer goes down. This time the referee will whistle for a foul. We'll see a free kick maybe 20, 25 yards away from goal. Certainly within the range of the right foot of Riley Kraft.
I was just going to say in the range of Riley Kraft with that right peg. Just whipping the ball around. This is the territory he loves. Look at that ball played and foul in there from behind on Brewer. Seems to be okay. He's up.
3 players, count them, around that ball for Menace. One goes away. Neville Morgan was never likely to take it. Elliot Goldthorpe and Riley Kraft over it. Goldthorpe wearing number 8 to the right of the ball. He could whip it in. Riley Kraft could put in an in-swinger. Goldthorpe will go for goal! And the goalkeeper had trouble picking it up on the first effort, but he does corral it in time. Colin Welsh is able to pick it up.
A difficult one there for Colin Welsh because the ball was whipped round the wall. It was low and to Colin Welsh's left-hand side, so it managed to get round the wall. So in the end, he did well. Plus, he had a couple of attacking players that were putting pressure on him.
40 minutes gone. Des Moines Menace leading 1-0 over Caw Valley FC. And for Caw Valley, I mean, they've got to feel a little bit hard done by this result right now. They've done a really good job taking this game to the defending national champions, to the Central Conference champions, the #1 seed in this playoff bracket. And they've done a really good job not just playing well for their standards, but rising to the level that Menace bring. It's, I mean, deserved for Menace to be ahead, but at the same time, that's how these playoff games go. It doesn't feel like one of these teams deserves to be losing right now.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, Danny, but end of the day, one team has to win. I get it, there's quality, there's different styles between both teams right now at this particular moment. You know, Caw Valley, they've got the quality in their team to come back into this game. Obviously, the Menace are going to have to keep their heads, you know, right up until halftime, go in and chat about it. What a tackle that was. That was dreadful, actually. 2-footed tackling. That was Aaron Kaida. That could be a red card.
Aaron Keita certainly could be sent off, and meanwhile, there's a lot of pushing and shoving. Zeron Sewell nearly throws a punch.
He needs to stay out of that, Danny. He needs to stay out.
Well, everything has exploded at Valley Stadium in the 42nd minute. We won't get out of this first half for a while. First of all, we're going to tend to the injured player, who is Luka Nedic, if my memory serves me, and he's down. That is... and that's a very direct. Neville Morgan's trying to explain it to the referee, and it is a red card. Sent off will be the midfielder Aaron Keita, and it had to be. I mean, there was no other option.
No doubt about it. That's a career-threatening injury. 2 feet over the ball, tackle. That is dreadful, absolutely dreadful. That's leg-breaking. But Zeron Sewell is lucky because he did put his hands on the other player, on the opponent.
Did, and I think what helped him was you saw him make that move. It was on camera. You saw it. He made this motion to try and throw a punch. His fist was closed.
And Makela came in there.
Makela came in to help him. He did. That's the challenge. You see it again. When you go over the ball like that, whenever you leave the ground, it's always going to be a risk of that. And it doesn't seem intentional. I don't think that Aaron Keita's trying to get himself sent off with a challenge like that. But you see it, I mean, it's needlessly dangerous, and you see his reaction. He kind of knows. He knows when he goes in and makes that contact. For Luka Nedic, he's defenseless in that situation. There's a reason that a red card is the result of this type of play. There's a reason that referees are making sure to get that tackle out of the game. I'm really worried for Luka Nedic's health for the rest of this one.
I am too, because that was dreadful. But did you see Riley Kraft coming in there, protecting his players, letting them know that this is not what it's about? Zeron Shaw is lucky because I'm so glad he's on his feet. He's on his feet, walking off. Hopefully he's going to be all right. You know, Nedic he's a tough kid, and he's going to want to get back into this game.
Probably the toughest in this team, and that's not easy. There you see Operations Director Sidney Tatum escorting number 6 Aaron Keita off the pitch, and he's being serenaded by the society, the Menace supporters group, with a little song of celebration that he's left. And in all seriousness, Caw Valley, they're down a goal, but it looked like they were playing good football. They were in position to maybe get a goal back. Now you go down a man. What changes tactically? Literally, in a literal sense, you lose a midfielder. But what changes as far as the way that they attack this match?
Well, they've got a lot to do now coming up to halftime, plus added on time. They'll switch their shape to a 4-4-1, I believe. I think that's what they're going to do, and they're going to look to counter-attack. They'll probably leave Kazim up front, and they'll drop Pereira in, and they'll drop Klein in. Where they'll go within that, I think Klein will go to the right in the midfield, and I think Pereira to the left.
And Pereira's so mobile. We saw it all first half. Is a guy who can certainly get across the pitch quickly. Meanwhile, referees still just making sure they've got everything sorted. As far as we know, only cards that have come out so far. The red card, of course, the big decision so far to Aaron Keita. On top of that, a yellow card to Zeron Sewell for unsporting play.
And it was a straight red as well, definitely. I'm not going to say any more about it, but those type of tackles, that you're putting on players, it's just whether he met.
It's also his second red this season.
Yeah, it's his second red of the season. He's had a goal, 10 matches, 1 goal, 2 yellows, 2 reds now.
Yeah, second time that he's been sent off. The first one was a pair of yellow cards. He got a second yellow, and this one is a straight red card for the first time in this season for Aaron Keita. And for him, so tough. He's an important part of this team in midfield. And it's so disappointing for those guys. Of course, it's deserved. It's a red card offense. But we might see more from the referee.
Yeah, see, Danny, they're still sorting this out. There's a yellow card that was, I believe, I'll get his name right now. He's dropping into the right back position. I believe it's.
Might it be Vitor Ternay?
Ternay,
he's wearing 15, and to be level with you guys, there is not a number 15 that was given to us on Caw Valley's roster, so we can't tell you exactly who it is. But Nedic is back out there, and that's good news. We're into the 46th minute. I would be willing to bet that there's going to be a few minutes of added time. We'll let you know exactly how many. We've got a moment, and there you go, right on cue. 5 minutes, so we've played about 1 of them so far. 4 more to go before we even get to halftime. What an evening it's been. Penalty shootouts earlier in the first leg of the doubleheader, and now Des Moines Menace up 1 and also up a man.
Well, there seems to be something going on the sideline. The coaching staff for Caw Valley are still complaining. It looks like one of the coaches have gone.
That's the head coach. That would be head coach Alex Nichols. As far as I'm aware, he's gone, and he's now going to just explain to his coaching staff what they need to do, because at this point, he's the guy who's got the brains in the head of the operation. He's trying to just explain to them, hey, this is what you do now that I'm gone, because he can't manage them in the locker room at halftime. He can't give the team talk. He's got to be escorted out as well, and he won't go quietly.
Well, Sydney's going to be very busy tonight. I can see her trotting around the field there, going off she goes to meet the head coach. He's still going on at the officials. He's out, halftime. They're starting to lose it now, Caw Valley, and it's not really good. For the organization, they've lost a player. They could lose this now after they've started off fantastically. Like you said, he's not allowed in the locker room at halftime at all, unless he sneaks in just like Jose Mourinho did, like in the little wheelbarrow all covered up.
Pending a Mourinho move, we won't see him, and neither will the players. And as a coach, you've prepared all season for your team to be in a place like this. it's a disappointing moment for sure to not be able to give the team that team talk. So now I highly doubt we'll stop at 50 minutes. We'll probably have a couple more minutes after this of added time. And he is being escorted into the locker room, where I think he'll have to eventually leave there as well. But in any case, we're back underway. After all of that, here comes Caw Valley the other direction. That was a promising chance. Again, keep in mind, a lot of momentum's gone against them, but they're only down 1 goal. Menace trying to change that down this right wing. That's an excellent heady move on the left back that time. Might have been Tournaise. And he'll leave it off for Cameron Caldwell to take the throw-in. But nice work for the back heel to knock it off Fiorini when he had 2 players on him when Caw Valley a throw-in.
Well, this is where the Menace just need to keep calm until halftime. They don't want to get hot-headed, and they don't want to get a player sent off. The advantage is theirs right now, leading 1-0, playing against a man-down team, as in Caw Valley, plus their head coach has also been sent off.
Now, we thought the penalty shootout was dramatic earlier on. This is matching step for step in the drama department. Out wide, here's Neville Morgan. Morgan across midfield. Into the center, it's played to Shaft Brewer. Kraft. Thought about a long distance effort. He'll play to Goldthorpe instead. Goldthorpe plays it in the middle. Shaft Brewer was not able to pick it up. Fiorini back in the middle. Kraft with a Herculean effort and just wide. The fans wanted to see it go in. He wanted to see it go in as well, but it doesn't quite have the accuracy.
Well, this is what's gonna happen going forward in transition for the Menace. It's going to be quick. It's going to be fast. It's going to be dynamic. But here you see Fiorini just driving the ball in, Kraft with the acrobatics just going past the far post. But what a goal that would have been after we saw Garcia's ESPN top 10 in the opening game here at home, actually.
You know, I think I saw Charlie Bales, one of the GMs in our front office, try a shot like that, and he almost got one to go in the build-up as we were setting up for today's match. He still got it.
Well, I'm sure he's got a cheeky acrobatic kick up his sleeve, though. He's still got it. He told me he's been training extremely hard for it.
He's got an acrobatic celebration as well, I can guarantee you that. Right side, this is Junior Kazim for Caw Valley. He'll play one in, deflected, and out for a Caw Valley throw-in. The Cranes have continued this wide strategy. You lose a central midfielder. I mean, they already were usually using the wide sides, especially now. That's got to be the main objective for them. Get the ball out wide, get it forward quickly, 1-2 passes, and you're into the attacking third. That's been their goal.
Yeah, and it's quite interesting because Keita got sent off, and they haven't really made a change to bring in a holding midfielder.
Yeah, they haven't changed the personnel, and that means they haven't changed the strategy much either. So after all of that, a sending off for a coach, and 1 goal for Des Moines Menace, that's the way things end. 1-0 to halftime score. The referees have earned their pay today. A lot to do for them, but they've got 45 more minutes to go, and so do both these teams. Caw Valley 0, Des Moines 1 after 45 minutes. For Justin Forster and myself, Danny Catula, we'll see you guys in just a minute for halftime coverage. Do not go away on CISN.
Your joints are keeping you from what you really want to do. Whether it's playing with your kids, golfing on the weekends, or dancing with your spouse on date night, DMOS can help. Des Moines Orthopedic Surgeons. DMOS, a nationally recognized team of orthopedic specialists, can help make it happen. Rated among the state's best for joint replacement surgery, DMOS offers the Metro's most comprehensive range of play-restoring orthopedic services, from sports medicine, urgent injury, to physical therapy. At DMOS, we're ready to help you get back to living. Learn more at dmos.com.
Hi, it's Amanda with Holt's Plumbing and Heating. With inventory tight, Holt not only anticipated the need, but took the risk of stocking up on our most popular products. While our competitors scramble to find furnaces, air conditioners, and water heaters, we have plenty of stock, ready to be installed. Even though we have extra products, now we see demand at an all-time high. To sweeten the deal, we are also offering 0% financing on your new purchase. Just one more reason why more and more Central Iowans are saying, let Holt handle that.
At DeArmond Ford Indianola and DeArmond Automotive Knoxville, we want you to experience the DeArmond difference.
My dad and I are in the dealership every day to ensure your ownership experience is exceptional.
We're completing phase 2 of our major reconstruction project at our Indianola location, providing a state-of-the-art customer lounge and waiting area and soon-to-be all-new showroom, reinvesting back into our communities.
DeArmond Ford Indianola and DeArmond Automotive Knoxville. Experience the DeArmond difference today. DeArmondAuto.com.
It takes a village to empower a young person to achieve their full potential. Yet today in America, 1 in 3 kids are growing up without a mentor. Together, we can change this. You can be that someone for a young person by becoming a mentor. Join the village. Big brothers, big sisters. Become a big today.
Halftime between Des Moines Menace and the visiting Kaw Valley FC. The Cranes got off to a great start, first 30 minutes especially, but the wheels fell off. A player sent off. Aaron Keita in midfield is gone. They're down to 10 men. They're down to 1 less player on the coaching staff as well. The head coach is now gone as well. Justin, give us some semblance of reason after a wild first half.
Well, Kaw Valley started off really well. I was really impressed with the way they were playing. They were creating chances. The Menace defended well. They got numbers behind the ball. They were clearing. But I just felt that lack of discipline from Kate on that tackle. It was late, feet up. It could have been a career-ending challenge or a season-ending challenge, that's for sure. Menace pulled himself back. He's back in play. But it caused Keita to be sent off and the head coach for Kaw Valley sent off. You know, and I think the rest of the Kaw Valley squad just need to keep their heads right now. They've got another half to play. They're losing 1-0, and it takes a goal to come back into this. And the Menace just need to carry on doing what they're doing.
When we look back to the match earlier before this one, Kalamazoo FC had their backs against the wall, 2, 3, 4 times in a row, and they nearly found a way to grab that win. It was Kingshammer in the end who ended up taking it, but back and forth, both teams with so much talent, so much poise. What's it going to take for Kaw Valley to spring one of those comebacks and find their way back into it in half number 2?
You know, they'll play a 4-4-1. You know, I did mention, replacing Keita as a holding midfielder. I don't think they're going to do that. If anything, they'll just leave it the same. They might make a change further on in the game, might just push players forward and look to go a little more direct. But, sometimes when you play with a man down, you find that 11th player or 12th player from somewhere in the extra energy, and one player's covering ground for 2 players.
We shall see. That's probably the Herculean effort that's going to be necessary for Kaw Valley. They're up against it at the moment without a head coach, without one of their central midfielders, and down 1-0 to the best team in the Central Conference. We'll see if they can spring a comeback with more halftime coverage in the second half of action, of course, all right here on CISN.
Obsessively, relentlessly at your service. To me, it means being there 24/7, rain or shine, during storms, after storms.
Being a first responder to the community, to my customers.
Being there to get the customers back on and to see the smiles on their face.
To provide the kind of reliability that we can hold our heads high about.
And we want to keep our customers safe. Safety's first around here.
And that's rewarding.
Hi, I'm Joe the Car Guy with Westside Auto. I'm excited to tell you about our new lifetime oil change plan. When you purchase our plan, you'll never have to pay for an oil change again. If you get a different car, simply transfer the plan over. If that car's oil needs are different than your original plan, just pay the difference. It couldn't be simpler. You won't have to worry about inflation or prices going up. Give us a call at Westside Auto Pros to get details on the lifetime oil change plan. And remember, when I say lifetime, I mean your lifetime, not just your car's.
Here in the heartland, at the heart of everything cool, Greater Des Moines is more than its features. It's a feeling. A feeling of discovery and wonder everywhere you turn. Catch what you've been missing. Des Moines, the S's are silent, our city is booming.
When I think about the mini pitch initiative, I think about creating equal access to allow youth to have confidence in themselves to develop teamwork. You know, for me, sports were always a huge part of my life, and I want other people to have that same experience that I did. When you revitalize space in the community, you're able to allow people to come together. We've worked really hard with the U.S. Soccer Foundation over the past couple years and bringing pitches all over the country. We're really proud of being able to create spaces for kids to play and grow. At the end of the day, soccer is just a conduit. It's allowing kids to develop and giving them the tools that they need for life. That's what soccer means to me.
1-0 with 45 minutes gone at Valley Stadium in West Des Moines, Iowa. Defending national champions Des Moines Menace up 1-0 on Kaw Valley FC, the 6th seed out of the Central Conference in these playoffs. They've given Menace quite a run for their money on a day where every single 1 seed up until now has lost. But this time, Menace are up 1-0 for now. Let's give you a look back at all of the action. And we do mean all. There was on-field action, there was off-field action. Justin, break it down.
And here was the first opportunity for Kaw Valley. It was deflected out for a corner. Here again, we have Stefano Campisi with a right-footed delivery coming into the box, headed down. Makela, no problem with that one under pressure, just gets up, pushes Pereira away and gets on with the game. Here we have Goldthorpe. Look at this piece of magic here. He goes past the defender there, little clip. The defender gets a foot to it, and it just goes in with the pressure of Riley Kraft coming in. But look at this again. A little bit of pressure in here. He's gone past Thiago Diaz. Diaz just gets a foot to it. But the incoming defender, Niamsi, doesn't quite get to it. And Kraft was there as well. But credit to Goldthorpe. He's got the goal. Here's the incident that happened. 2-footed tackle there by Cater. In on Nedic. Horrible, horrible tackle. Red card. He's gone for the rest of the match.
And not the only red card we saw either. Another red card came to the coaching staff, and our understanding is it's Alex Nichols, the head coach. Again, 1-0 the score between Menace and Kaw Valley. I want to give you an idea. We mentioned a moment ago that every other 1 seed in the other divisions have already lost. Lionsbridge FC, the most recent to meet that fate, against Vermont Green. Then we saw the loss in the Western Conference. Capital FC, they lost to San Francisco Glens, the 8th seed out there. And then we had Nona FC in the South going down out of Florida to West Virginia United. It's been a crazy day for the Giant Killers, and we'll see if Kaw Valley could keep that trend going. All that and more in the second half on CISN.
At DeArmond Ford Indianola and DeArmond Automotive Knoxville, we want you to experience the DeArmond difference.
My dad and I are in the dealership every day to ensure your ownership experience is exceptional.
We're completing phase 2 of our major reconstruction project at our Indianola location, providing a state-of-the-art customer lounge and waiting area and soon-to-be all-new showroom, reinvesting back into our communities.
DeArmond Ford Indianola and DeArmond Automotive Knoxville. Experience the DeArmond difference today. DeArmondAuto.com.
One more time. Come on, one more.
One more?
Looking good. Done.
Nah, one more.
One more. Riding stance.
What do you think? One more set? Fine, 2 more sets.
One more.
Let's go, squad. One more.
One more.
3, 2, 1.
One more, man.
Oh, man. All right, little bro.
Breakfast? One more. Yeah, I'm not hungry either. One more?
Want more?
Why do businesses succeed? The Better Business Bureau sees the traits of successful businesses every day. It's not easy, but it is simple. The BBB fosters trust between Iowa businesses and consumers.
Visit bbb.org.
1-0 the halftime scoreline, and we're about to see how that score holds up. Des Moines Menace on top of Kaw Valley FC. 1-0 is again your score after 45 minutes. 45 more minutes for Menace to be able to hold on and kickstart what could be another national title running campaign. Of course, they won last season in 2021. We've mentioned it a couple of times already. Kaw Valley, though, have been in this situation before. They've made it out of this first round of playoffs every occasion that they've been here before. Been a couple of years since they've been here, but they have a lot of talent, and they're definitely a team that in the first half tonight showed that they have the ability to get forward and create problems, Justin. We look at Guilherme Pereira, was a guy who had the ball at his feet a lot in that first half, liked to play it into Junior Kazim in the midfield or at the top. And then on top of that, he went for goal a couple of times himself. Even though they're down a man, Pereira is one of those guys who could change the match for Kaw Valley.
Yeah, he is. Definitely is a quality player. He's got some skill. He can take on players. He likes to get the ball cutting inside from left to right, getting the ball on his right foot. But, you know, the back line and defensively, the Menace have done really well, just blocking those challenges and not allowing him to do it. But, yeah, he's definitely a player to watch. Pereira's. Kazim is another player to watch. I think Kazim could be a game changer. You know, he's definitely a player to watch as well.
Junior Kazim, 5'8", 141 striker. Not the biggest, but he's shown a lot of pace, a lot of quality in that attacking third. As you see the players coming back out on your screen, it's Kaw Valley in the unforgettable white with blue shorts and pink socks. We love to see that. Mentioned it in the first half. Menace in their classic home strip. It's the black and white stripes with black on the back. Menace will move from right to left in front of us, and that is the fan base that will cheer them on in half number 2. We've had some incredible attendances this season. This surely is the best one of all of them.
Yeah, it definitely is. One of the biggest crowds that we've had in a very, very long time since the national championship. That was the last time we had a 7,000 crowd, but you look at tonight, I mean, the second tier is filled up. It's fantastic. You know, everybody's enjoying this moment so far, but Danny, we have a second half to do.
We do. This is nowhere close to over. Kaw Valley have a lot more in them, a lot more quality. One less player and coach, but that doesn't mean that they're not still in this one. Riley Kraft, the captain himself, will kick things off. And the second half of action in the Central Conference quarterfinals is underway. Menace on the attack early. This is Neville Morgan. Morgan had a run up his left. Now he'll play it there. What can Menace do here? Played backwards. Corey Cupid. And the ball's there on Sewell. Center backs haven't had as much of the ball in that first half as usual. It hasn't been the classic possession that we tend to see from Menace. Nice little flick, but instead of playing the ball out of bounds, Kaw Valley gives the ball away, and it nearly resulted in a cross into the box. Usually that's one where Kaw Valley would rather just let that ball go out of play, but the fancy move almost cost him. Riley Kraft will take this corner.
There was a little bit of pressure out there on the far side that caused it. I think, you know, Kaw Valley are still in shock. Riley Kraft's on the ball. It's been a good start to the second half so far. To your point, the Menace haven't been allowed to play out of the back, so players like Sewell haven't even managed to get their feet on the ball.
See if that changes in the second 45 with an extra man. Kraft's corner comes in near post. Trying to get there. Another effort for Roseboom, headed away by Diaz. Nedic puts it back in. Spit right back out. That's an excellent ball. Kaw Valley can come the other direction. This is Junior Kazim. He is dangerous. A 3-on-3 opportunity. Left side continuing forward. Can Kaw Valley get a ball on the box? They'll try it, and it's excellent defending on the right by Gianluca Fiorini. Out of play for a goal kick.
Well, Fiorini did well there, and, you know, again, it's just the Menace have got to be careful in transition, complacency. When they get the ball, they just need to keep it. If it's not on to go forward, keep it, circulate the ball quickly, get Kaw Valley moving left to right, tire the legs out, then wait for that opening moment to go. But those situations there, Danny, I mean, there was a 3-on-3, it was a 3-on-2 at one stage. It was a really good recovery run there from Corey Cupid. But they've just got to be careful of that because it just takes moments like that. And Core Valley will defend and then look to counterattack when their moment's on.
Menace's moment could be on now. It's a good ball down this right side, lofted into the middle, and Shaft Brewer was in the area, still is, trying to chase this one down. He will push down a Kaw Valley defender, and the referee gives some sympathy that time to Vitor Tunanes.
Really unnecessary there from Shaft Brewer. Didn't really need to do that. Base was going out of bounds. It was actually just ushering it out for a throw-in. Now they have a free kick. It's not really dangerous, not a dangerous area, but also just got to be careful of cautions and yellow cards at this point.
Indeed you do. Tournace, by the way, 6'1" right back today. He's playing in his 8th match of the season. 1 yellow card to show for those 8 contests. Played with Next Academy in Brazil and a Central Methodist Eagle, like so many others in the starting 11 for Kaw Valley. And the Cranes are on the ball now. That's Guilherme Pereira. This one played out wide by Niamsi. Good turn. It could be off to the races. Kaw Valley could. Kazim, who's kind of wandered outside a little bit more early on in the second half. We tend to see him now a little bit more on the wings. And perhaps Tournace has just kind of moved up a little bit. He was playing right back. He's more of a right winger at this point.
Yeah, and Tournace also has to be careful because he picked up a yellow card in the first half. So, you know, he's on a yellow, so he's got to be really, really careful. They don't need to go down an extra player, as well as Sewell's on a yellow card as well. But what I have noticed here, when Core Valley have the ball, they look to get forward. They're breaking with 2 10s going forward from the midfield. Campisi and Dickerson, I can see them breaking the lines. And obviously, I mean, it's one and done basically at the end of the day, and they really are trying to go for the result.
Absolutely, both teams are. 50th minute. Kaw Valley will have another throw with Caldwell. Diaz plays it long into the box. Grant Magala, with his big frame, is able to corral it. He'll roll this one out, and it's long. It finds Shaft Brewer. Well defended in the end. They have called Shaft Brewer's number all evening long. They know where he is at all times. They know how dangerous and explosive he can be going forward. Meanwhile, you get to see a couple of the younger fans in attendance chase after one of the balls that finds its way to the stands. That's one of the coolest parts to see in big crowds here in Des Moines, is those kids and how much fun they have at these matches. They're the future of soccer in Des Moines, and it's cool to see them as excited as they are about these matches.
Yeah, but not just that, Danny. There's so much cool stuff to do at halftime. I mean, you see them out on the field. They've got all these like fun games for them and so forth. I think it's absolutely fantastic. It creates a family environment here at matches, and everybody's involved in the Menace organization. The backroom staff do a fantastic job.
Luka Nedic has it in midfield for Menace. Played out right. Gianluca Fiorini. Now it's Elliot Goldthorpe. Picks his head up. Has a square ball to play it into the box instead. Good service. No one could get there. Now Neville Morgan. Riley Kraft. Moves internally, has a go, and that's an excellent save. Had to get up, didn't he, Colin Welsh, but he was up to the task, out for a corner for Menace.
Great save there by Colin Welsh, mate. Absolutely brilliant. Cut it. But Riley Kraft, we know what he's about, cutting it onto his right foot. And he absolutely whipped that. As we look at this again, what a good ball in there. Looking for the combination. Look at that distance. Whips his foot around it. But credit to Colin Welsh. Great save, you know, just over the top, flicking it over the top.
Riley Kraft's corner. Near post. The header is off target. And it doesn't touch anybody in white in the end, says the referee. Out for a goal kick.
Yeah, it was a difficult angle there on the header. Good ball in by Riley Kraft, and Brewer Jr. just getting to it. Didn't quite get around it. As you look at this ball dropping, he was under pressure there from 2 defenders. Did well to get his head to it.
Welsh will play this one out to his left. Niamsi from Paris, France. Played at Audencia Bachelor. And also, you guessed it, plays for Central Methodist, the Eagles. Niamsi switches the play, a bit dangerous that time, but Thiago Diaz does safely pick it up for Kaw Valley. In midfield, Bryce Dickerson. Played back, Diaz. He's got, and now he will play it to Guilherme Pereira. on that right side of attack. Dickerson back for Thiago Diaz. Diaz moves forward. Center back making inroads. Still going. Diaz will lay it off now. Sent forward Diaz all the way on the right wing. He could cross it in from here. He will. Kazim gets a good first touch. Challenged well. And Menace able to deal with the pressure. That touched Menace last. Very fortunate and very clever in the end from Diaz. The center back heading all the way up and being nice and savvy in the attack.
Well, that all comes from Core Valley breaking pressure from their own penalty box. Really, the goalkeeper, well, should have been pressed after his first touch. It was a poor first touch. Nobody pressed it. Also, Kazim in the box here was allowed to turn. There was no pressure on him. That needs to be fixed.
Vitor Tunes heads it, tries to get it in a goal-scoring area. And he fouls Riley Kraft in the end. Had his hands up, but fouled him with his foot. So Tunes will have to retreat back a little bit. The Rio de Janeiro native. Kraft will play it back for Morgan. Menace on the ball. Switch of play. Other side beating Caldwell was the header from Fiorini, but it goes out of play. And Car Valley have it back.
And Cupid was looking for the diagonal there. Morgan to his left-hand side was heels on the touchline to our near side, was calling for the ball, wanted it. The diagonal ball, Cupid looking for Fiorini, didn't quite work out.
This one thrown in by Cameron Caldwell. Kazim couldn't get on the end of the header, and so Lance Roseboom will play it back to his back line. Corey Cupid advances it. Left side of attack, Morgan. The run of Shaft Brewer Jr. Back to Morgan, not a good first touch. But Kraft still ends up with it. Goldthorpe could move it out wide. He does! One-on-one chance! The unselfish pass and a baffling, mind-boggling miss from Riley Kraft. What just happened?
Well, Riley Kraft knows that, and I'm just thinking the same thing. My hands were held on my head. I couldn't believe that, but passage of play was absolutely fantastic. The build-up, I'm still fathomed by this, but Riley Kraft would just get his head up and keep going. It was a lovely ball, but as you can see, I don't know what happened. All he had to do was side-foot it in. Fiorini, fantastic run on the outside on the right-hand side, and what a ball played in by Goldthorpe, attracting two defenders to him and just sliding the ball through. Look, I've seen misses worse than that, but you know, Riley Kraft hopefully will come back from this. He should have taken care of it. It could have put the Menace 2-0 up.
And coming this way again, Brewer! So inventive, so impressive. Second goal for Menace, 2-0, Shaft Brewer. Welcome to Des Moines.
Well, what a well-taken goal there. There I am talking about getting the second goal. The Menace have now scored their second goal through Shaft Brewer Jr. But what a well-taken goal there. The goalkeeper, Welsh, came out off his lines, knew he wasn't going to get there, hesitated. The ball went over the centre-back's head. But look at the pace on this lad. Just gets past him. The pressure coming in, and what an absolute dink. And Niamsi was coming through to cover, but Brewer just had so much pace and a well-taken finish. Looks easy, but it's not that easy. It's a difficult one, and Welsh was caught in no man's land.
Just so creative to think of that. You'll see the Royal Mile replay on this one more time as play opens up. Who thinks of that as the ball comes to them on a run? I mean, some people think near post, some people think far post. Shaft Brewer thinks, I'll just dink it over him with the outside of my boot with this clever little flick that no one else on the planet can do. 2-0 Menace just like that.
In the driving seat now, you know, Core Valley let themselves down with the player sent off. Now 2-0 up, they should be in the driving seat. Me, even as a player or a coach, a broadcaster, I don't want to talk too soon or any. You never know what can happen. Core Valley could maybe just spring up the magic and pull the cat out the hat.
And they've got the talent to do it, is the reality of the situation. As Caldwell, one of those talented guys, moves forward down this left-hand side. Continuing a run forward. Pereira will be sent back. Caldwell in midfield. Back to Caldwell. And he's looking down this left side to find something instead. He'll send it back to the right. Grant Makela will pick it up off the bounce, but Kazim has been that target in the front all match long.
Yeah, I think I could hear Makela screaming from here. Corey Cupid just let it go over his head. Communication's important. He was loud, he was clear, and that's what it's about. So young players and that are watching this match, it's just the communication piece, the small details in games.
Good pressure in midfield for Menace, but they won't hold on to possession on that occasion. And this will be Pereira. Pereira turns around Neville Morgan, and he'll move it back now to Tournes. Gives it away directly to that man, Shaft Brewer. Brewer turns around, gets around two players, moves it outside, and this is Gianluca Fiorini. Back to Brewer. Brewer turns, gets it to Lance Roseboom. Roseboom turns as well, gets it to Kraft. Kraft would like a cross, he'll play it in, and alert to the danger, Colin Welsh in goal.
Well, you see the pace of Brewer is so deceptive. He did well shielding the ball, played Fiorini and made a run off the defender's left shoulder into the space. He had two players closing him down. It looks like the lads from Des Moines Menace are really enjoying the game right now. They're enjoying the spell of momentum and possession.
For Caw Valley, the ideal scenario is in these next 5 or 10 minutes, you want to get a goal back and build momentum. You don't want to leave this super late on. It seems fairly obvious to say, but when you need 2 goals, you want to get one back sooner rather than later.
Yeah, and I think they're going to try and look for it, obviously, as you can see how open they are in their possession. You know, they're a good side. They're well coached. The positional play is good. But they're going to leave themselves open and deceptive at the back, and they're going to be exposed if they just keep pushing players forward. 2-0, they're still in this game, Danny, still in the game. They concede another goal, it could be all over.
Morgan getting forward for Menace. Plays it into midfield. Picking it up there is Kraft. Nedic moves it out left. And this ball is, well, sent in the direction of the center of the box, but cleared just as quickly. Menace will start over. Zeron Sewell. Cupid left side. Morgan, plenty of space there. Again, Menace playing with a man advantage. Getting around Tournes with a nice nutmeg. Fans showing their appreciation. But Tournes has the last laugh. He'll win the ball back. Plays it back to Diaz. That one is over the touchline. Throw in for Menace. Corey Cupid's got it in his hands, and he'll throw it backwards. Sewell switches play. Fiorini. Long ball, Roseboom slid in to win it, couldn't get there. Welsh clears. Out it goes for another Menace throw.
You can see Zeron Sewell now, this second half, is enjoying a little more of the ball, the possession. He likes to play, likes the ball at his feet, likes to switch it and play players in. He likes to drive into the space when he's given the opportunity. But in the first half, he wasn't given that by Caw Valley. Caw Valley did a fantastic job just pressing the goal kicks, forcing the Menace to actually play the goal kicks long. They pressed, there was a massive gap in the midfield. But now he's just really, really enjoying this passage of play in the 60th minute.
Is it of any interest to you, Justin, that neither side has made a change so far? Does that surprise you at all?
As you say that, I'm looking across there and I see the Menace are going to make 2 changes. This is about the time they make the change in the 60th minute. I'm surprised that Caw Valley haven't done it. They've got some players down in the corner there warming up. You know, just get some fresh legs and sharpen things up. You never know what might happen. It could change the game.
Wide side on the right. This is Pereira. Loves the ball at his feet. He'll get around Morgan. Passes past Roseboom, but didn't find Kazim, the intended target. Long ball, and with a lot of space, potentially offside is Goldthorpe, but the flag stays down. One-on-one with the keeper! It's cool, calm, and collected, and it's 3-0. Goldthorpe at the double.
Well, the Yorkshire Terrier, Elliot Goldthorpe, strikes again. Goal number 2. He's definitely shrugged off anything from last weekend. He's come back, he scored his second goal, a well-taken goal. I thought there was a glimpse of offside there. Nope, it wasn't. But look at this here. takes it onto his right foot, just cuts him, but the technique in this finish here, absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
7 goals on the season now for Goldthorpe. Outright leader in scoring for one of the highest flying, highest scoring teams in the nation. Your Royal Mile replay right here. You just see the pace and the energy with which Goldthorpe latches onto this, and that finish there. It's so much harder than it looks when you're on the move. It's your first touch. Excellent work to finish.
And you can see he's enjoying that. The celebrations tell it all.
Well, in the meantime, you mentioned those substitutions in the offing, Justin. First one is going to be Shaft Brewer saying goodbye to this one. Brandon Birmingham looks like he'll replace him. So that's an attacking change. You're also going to see Brian Padilla come in. And he'll replace Riley Kraft. So a couple of attacking changes. At this point, 3-0 for Menace. They're in good shape, but you don't necessarily want to put on 3 defending guys and you kind of leave this one for Caw Valley to potentially chase. Again, this is a team that loves to score, and even in a situation like this, I wouldn't count them out from still grabbing a goal. And for head coach Dean Johnson, he'd like to continue scoring goals and make this one as likely as possible a Menace win.
Yeah, I don't see them going into a defensive shape, especially at this stage. I think player for player. Also, you look at Brewer just going off, Kraft going off. I mean, they're going to do this. They've possibly, at this point, I don't like to talk too soon, have a game again, a potential game on Sunday. This is a point where they can rest players. But look at the players that have come into the game. You know, you've got Brandon Birmingham, he can slot in the goals. He's a quality player up front. And then Brian Padilla, I mean, as a number 10, breaking through the midfield. Again, he can be a problem, and I think this could be a problem for Caw Valley now with these fresh legs that have come into the game.
Padilla, you mentioned so much talent on that guy. Originally from El Paso, Texas, went to the FC Dallas Academy, where he played in high school, and Maryland Terrapins. He was a member of the 2018 College Cup champions in Division I over there at Maryland. Yet to score with Menace in 6 matches this season, but he did come in mid-season from Denton Diablos in NPSL, and he had 9 goals in 6 matches for them when he joined here in Des Moines. Meanwhile, here come Caw Valley. Fresh off conceding another goal. Where's that resolve now that they've just got to pull out? Here's Kazim. Great tackle. Cleared away down this line. Not quite getting there. It's Birmingham. But can he come back and pressure the goalkeeper now? Good job by Colin Welsh on the run to be able to outlet that pass successfully. And that will be a foul on Luka Nedic. Surely by this point, the amount of fouls he's given up, that challenge in itself had a bit of danger in it. It will be a deserved yellow card in minute number 66 for number 12, Luka Nedic.
Yeah, I think Luka Nedic needs to be careful now. I think Dean Johnson will probably take him off, especially if he's needed on Sunday, you know, because he did get smashed in the first half with the Cater sending off. Here, that was late. It was no intent to it. He apologized. He didn't walk away from it screaming and shouting, you know. He got on with it. But I think this might be a stage that Nedic is taken off the field.
Looks like a change to bring you here for Caw Valley. We're going to see Isaac Johnson for Cameron Caldwell. So that's an outside back change. We know that one for sure. Still looking at what else we've got. In the meantime, here come Menace. Not waiting for anybody. Padilla tried to move it out left, and Neville Morgan was out there, but good defending in the end. Caw Valley moving through midfield. This could be a chance to break. Excellent defending on the other end for Menace. Right side, Pereira. Sent back, Dickerson. Tournes. Midfield, it's Theo Klein. Through midfield, he was trying to find Kazim at the edge of the box. That didn't work out. Nedic wasn't ready for that pass. Here's Klein again. Theo Klein moves it out left. Klein sees it again. Nice 1-2. Not many players to aim for in the middle, and he'll end up giving away possession. That'll be a Menace throwing. So we know one change. I think there was another one for Caw Valley. We're not sure about that one, but Isaac Johnson, we can tell you, confirmed, the Jefferson City, Missouri native. He's in for Cameron Caldwell at left back. In the meantime, a Menace throw, and they'll just play it into their own box. Trying to hold on to possession at this point, be nice and safe. No reason to do anything different, and now when they see space, they'll go forward. A refereeing decision from a moment ago, that yellow card to Luka Nedic, by the way. I want to let you know it's a refereeing decision brought to you by Vision Park Family Eye Care, which proudly serves Central Iowa with quality eye care services and a friendly staff. 68 minutes gone, and it's 3-0 Menace. 2 goals from Elliot Goldthorpe. The bookends of this one so far, got the opener, and then he got the most recent one on a nice collected finish in front of goal. Meanwhile, an error at the back. We'll see Caw Valley give away possession on this right side. See what Menace can do with it here. Roseboom. Nedic, still on for now. Does have that yellow card he recently picked up. Morgan. Out swinging ball in. Goldthorpe is going to try something fancy. Now here's Nedic. Cleared away. And that will result in a Menace throw near side.
It looks like the Menace are going to make another change here. And I believe I might be right with Nedic being taken off.
Hey, you might just be right. We're going to see, first of all, Alexon Saravia comes in. And you're also going to see Jaden Ramsey Kelly. My assumption is Ramsey Kelly, just like last week, will slot in that defensive midfield role that Luka Nedic vacates. And then you're also going to see Gianluca Fiorini step off, which makes sense because that's where Alexon Saravia tends to like to play, in that right wing back spot. So Ramsey Kelly, a like-for-like switch in for Luka Nedic, and Alexon Saravia from Alexandria, Virginia. Once again, a like-for-like change, replacing Fiorini.
Yeah, and I think that was the right moment to do it, make the change. Very smart there from Dean Johnson to take off Nedic at this point of the game. But also good quality change coming in there with Ramsey Kelly. Came into that, slotted into that role last weekend against Peoria. Did very, very well. Just maintained, contained, and broke up play. As you see him on the ball, just misplacing that as he's trying to receive it.
Coming the other way, here's Pereira. Aerial ball, it rolls out to the left now. And that one is deflected off a Menace defender. I believe that was Saravia there. Chance for Caw Valley left wing. Again, great defensive intervention that time. Alexon Saravia has been active from the moment he's come on. And in the 70th minute, he's got about 20 more minutes to play. He'll have an important role out there in making sure that Caw Valley don't spring any comebacks.
Yeah, I think so. You know, when you look at this now, fresh legs coming in. Saravia is a quality player, and he offers a lot to this team. But look at the Menace now enjoying passage of momentum and play and possession, just keeping the ball. Sewell's enjoying it. The gaps are opening up, as you can see, in the midfield.
This midfield area, Menace with possession. Sewell. Got Ramsey Kelly in front of him to his left. Thought about it, but he'll play it in a passing lane instead. Padilla looks up. Move it out, and he does move it out left to Morgan. Morgan gets there in time, but not in time to save the goal kick. He got there at the touch line, but couldn't get there at the goal line.
Yeah, Morgan was, I think, a little bit frustrated with Padilla's delivery into him. His pass was way off, and he just showed his frustration there, just welling the ball well into the VIP parking lot somewhere over there, skittles to the cars. But you know, Morgan's setting an example.
I still think from the earlier match between Kalamazoo and King Samar, there's a ball on the roof somewhere that somebody's going to have to go pick up. Not sure who is going to do that or win it, but a lot of balls off target, to say the least, between these two matches. Such incredible skill from all four sides that we've seen here at Valley today, though.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. I mean, there's been some great quality players, and you know, earlier on with King's Hammer, we saw some very technical players within that group, that young group of players that were out here. You And it looks like they'll probably end up playing, I won't speak too soon, but end up playing the Menace on Sunday.
At this point, it's the most likely scenario, but what's that ever meant in this game? Who really knows? Junior Kazim gives away a foul, and Menace will be able to accomplish a couple of goals, which are getting forward and also letting a little bit more time run off of this clock. Time their friend at this point.
I do know that on the bench there for Menace, Bertini was carrying an injury. He might not be risked tonight, to be honest with you. They might wait until Sunday just to check his fitness, but they do have D'Agostini on the bench, you know, and he was definitely an impact coming into the game last week against Peoria. But you know what? He might have a role to play on Sunday.
Ball sent long for Saravia. Can't quite latch onto it. Good defending in the end. And the substitute, Isaac Johnson. Incredible, the atmosphere. And Menace have surely treated these fans to quite an excellent match. Long ball again. Saravia trying to chase. Did his best to keep it in play, but again, good defending on that left side for Caw Valley. And that will take us to a drinks break. 17 minutes plus what we expect will be a few minutes of added time on top of that. Des Moines Menace all of a sudden leading 3-0. Elliot Goldthorpe's been a big reason why. I mean, if Jimmo Goldthorpe was jumping on his couch on the first goal, I mean, his house is probably burned down now that the second one's come in.
Probably burned. He's probably doing sprints up and down the street. He's probably ended up in Addingham somewhere.
That UK geography knowledge serving you well, Justin?
Very much so. They've endured some heat over there Monday and Tuesday, but you know, over there they don't know how to deal with it. They're soft when it comes to that, not like us over here, but we can deal with 100-degree weather, that's for sure. You know, the roads are melting and so forth, and you know, it's just lots of water to drink and taking days off work because it's too hot, but go to the beach. Does it make sense?
I don't know. I mean, it certainly has been pretty dire, the situation over there. It makes me think of, you know, in Georgia, where I'm from, when you get snow, any amount of snow, it's not like Des Moines where you've got roads salted, where you've got, you know, things in place, preparation to deal with extreme weather like that. Extreme for us anyway, us Georgians, but same going for England, not necessarily the AC units and things to be able to prepare and deal with that heat. It's obviously something that's been pretty negatively affecting life down there, but I imagine a double for your son is a nice little happiness boost, no matter what the weather is over there.
Yeah, of course, a brace. He's looking for a hat trick now. I think that's what he would like. Unless he gets taken off, he won't be too happy with that, because I know he wants a brace, but we have a substitution here right now. As looks like D'Agostini's come in and Neville Morgan has gone off.
Still trying to confirm that. I think D'Agostini, right as you mentioned, it might be on for Goldthorpe.
We do know D'Agostini is in. We do know that...
And D'Agostini's a striker.
Neville Morgan has gone, so D'Agostini's gone up front. Looks like... Goldthorpe is... He's still in there. He's dropped into the midfield. Now that's Padilla. I think Goldthorpe's gone off, obviously because there's a game on the weekend, on Sunday coming up. And then Ramsey Kelly looks like he's moved out into Neville Morgan's position on the left-hand side in the wing back. Ramsey Kelly, Morgan's being substituted. The game's coming up.
Well, Menace on the ball, and we'll see an opportunity in midfield for them to potentially get forward once again. Ramsey Kelly with it. Out left. This is Corey Cupid now. Might have occupied that space. Looks like he and Ramsey Kelly are both kind of on that left side. You just wonder if Corey Cupid's maybe advanced into that defensive midfield spot that Ramsey Kelly vacated. So Corey Cupid moves to defensive midfield where we've seen him this season. He moves there to take Ramsey Kelly out to the left wing back spot where Morgan's gone off. And maybe we've missed Alfeo Bertini coming in to replace Cupid on the back line. But I don't see him on the pitch. So we are mostly confused here, but we'll catch any updates when we have the opportunity to. Meanwhile, 3-0. Caw Valley chasing this one. Send it well across midfield, and Thiago Diaz able to clear it away. A couple of changes now for Caw Valley. The Cranes going to make a couple of changes to try and save this game. Jeremiah Johnson's one of them. The other one is, I believe, Adrian Gutierrez. So they're in, and coming off will be, first of all, Bryce Dickerson. He's gone. And someone else. Could be Ternase. Jeremiah Johnson tends to play as an outside back. I'm guessing that's where he's come in, but still not sure about that one either. So Menace getting things back underway. And we can confirm for you, DiAgostini's in as a striker. Neville Morgan's off as an outside back, so we're just still trying to figure out where everybody's slotting in. This one's sent long. DiAgostini's there. And his first touch was not quite what he was hoping for. And after all of that, corner kick for Menace.
Yeah, and it looks like Elliot Goldthorpe's just slotted into the midfield alongside Lance Roseburn with Padilla in front of them with the rotation. Looks like Lance will just probably sit, or they'll just rotate like they normally have done throughout the season.
Corner to come in. Menace could even go 4-0 up. They're in good shape as it stands already. Near post, Roseboom got there, but couldn't get the header he wanted. Not quite as clean of a contact as he would have hoped. Getting this one away is Caw Valley. Oh, and going down under a hard challenge. It will be a yellow card and nothing more. The Caw Valley will be displeased. It goes to Saravia. And the referee just giving him that signal that, hey, you were close, but you did take him down. It is a foul.
Yeah, as you see how the ball was cleared, Saravia knew he was beaten, just sticking a leg out. He should have just been a little more disciplined there. Yeah, picking up a yellow card. But it's a rush of blood to the head as well.
It certainly is. Saravia's been good in attack. In that moment, not the best defensive decision. Nearly a defensive error on the back line for Caw Valley, but they're able to deal with it. Sewell plays it backwards. Langan will just usher that one over to Grant Makela. Makela thinking about a quick throw in, and instead he'll just give it to Sewell.
Yeah, Makela just playing a high line there. Like his opposing goalkeeper, Colin Walsh. Colin Walsh is now playing more as a sweeper keeper, a higher line, just to deal with the ball over the top. But in those cases, circumstances, he can just come across and sweep the ball up and look to play out.
It'll be a throw in after Brandon Birmingham tried to advance down that left wing. Jaden Ramsey Kelly will be the one to take it. He's from Brampton, Ontario in Canada. Went to St. Edmund Campion Secondary School, and now a chance in front of goal. It's a fourth! And this time Birmingham gets in on the action. Another fantastic ball slotted home. And the man from Drogheda, Ireland, has number 4 for Menace.
Brandon Birmingham with a fantastic finish there. His trademark, open up the hips and just place it past the keeper into the opposite corner. But a lot of work done there by Jaden Ramsey Kelly with that ball played through. As you can see there, Kelly just playing it in. It's over on the other side of Thiago Diaz. And there you go. Look at that. Birmingham on the score sheet, just opening up his hips and placing it past the goalkeeper, Walsh.
See it one more time on the Royal Mile replay. It's just great work along the shoulder for Birmingham. That first touch got him all the space he needed. And he was just able to put it home from there for goal number 4. That's his 6th goal on the season. Coming into tonight, he and Elliot Goldthorpe both had 5 on the year. Now Elliot Goldthorpe's up to 7. Birmingham's got 6. And the fans now chanting they'd like a 5th.
I'm sure that they love the entertainment. They definitely do. They love to see goals. As you can see, the celebration on the sideline there. Birmingham going up to the kids and just high-fiving them. They love it. This is what it's all about.
It is. And this was another one of those matches. You go back to Peoria last week. A lot of talent on that side, and they gave Menace trouble, just like Caw Valley did in the first half. But it's been their quality in the second half. It's been that way all season, hasn't it, Justin? Their ability to turn to a second gear when other teams get tired and to run up score lines like this.
Yeah, you know, sometimes you're not sure if that is the plan with the gaffer, Dean Johnson. It seems to work, but they did go 1-0 up in the first half. You know, Caw Valley going a player down, they just a loss of blood to the head, losing Cater, who's solid in the midfield, and then they coach right after that. You know, it plays a mental effect on the rest of the team.
Left side, a chance potentially to play a ball in, but Menace alert to that. D'Agostini on it. Brazilian, he'll loop this one forward. And up goes Jaden Ramsey-Kelly. Around one defender, still going, taken out. We could see another sending off. That could be a red card worthy, it is. Off goes Thiago Diaz, and now Caw Valley play with 9. It just keeps getting worse. Thiago Diaz sent off after in the first half. Aaron Katza met the same fate. So now Caw Valley are down to 9 players. Thiago Diaz doesn't make a whole lot of a fuss about it. I think he knows that's not the type of challenge you can make and stay on the pitch.
Well, he was certainly late there as Ramsey Kelly played the ball past Diaz. Diaz could only just bring him down. That's a second sending off here for Caw Valley tonight. You know, with 7 minutes to go, they're now down to 9 players. Sydney again has been very, very busy.
Maybe the most active person on the pitch tonight has been Sydney Tatum, Director of Operations. Yeah, it's a flying challenge. It doesn't look good at any angle, and it's just one of those things where Diaz knows after he does it, but at that point, of course, it's certainly too late. 84th minute, Caw Valley playing with 9 men. Aaron Keita sent off in the first half. Second half now in this 84th minute. Thiago Diaz will also hit the locker room a few minutes earlier.
Well, there's not much right now Caw Valley can do except just compete right at this point. 4-0 down, 9 players on the field on their end. It's just a matter of working through this right to the end of the match, just putting in all the effort they can. Just show some determination, show some heart. Don't give up. Just keep going.
That one goes out of play just barely, but it'll be a throw in for Menace. Jaden Ramsey-Kelly the most likely to take it. Ramsey-Kelly's played in 6 matches this season. Hasn't made a start all year, this now being his 7th. He's come off the bench every single time. Just one of those guys who can play as a center back, play as a defensive midfielder. Right now he's really an outside wing back. Versatile guy, consistent guy. You just love to see him in the team sheet in the 18 because you know he'll provide you that spurt of energy and that consistency you need in a situation like this.
Well, it's a little bit like Corey Cupid as well. I mean, Corey Cupid's played in the 6. He's played in, you know, wide on the left in the wing back. He's now in the back 3, the left center back. You know, so it's great having versatile players within your organization. You know, Ramsey Kelly, he's been an impact. He assisted on the 4th goal to Birmingham. You know, so he's representing Canada here tonight.
Certainly is. One of a couple Canadians we've got in this team. In fact, another guy from Brampton, Ontario, if you'll believe it. It's Malik Smith, not in the 18 this evening, but player who's featured pretty extensively for Menace this season. Brampton being a Toronto suburb. Corey Cupid will play it forward. This is Lance Roseman, who again is going to put in a 90-minute shift the way it looks. He's trying to pick out Alexon Saravia there. And off your screen, directly in front of us here in the press box, you're watching Kings Hammer FC. They've been up here kind of scouting out, watching this match as Caw Valley will come forward, a chance to grab a consolation potentially. Excellent defending. Connor Lincoln says no sir to that. They would like to keep a clean sheet, Menace would.
Mr. Consistency, Connor Langen, hardly puts a foot wrong. He's been consistent the whole season. There he was again, just winning the ball and playing out the back.
Just to finish the thought from a moment earlier, Kings Hammer, obviously the team that advanced on penalties 6-5 after each team had to take 10 to decide it in the end. Here's Jaden Ramsey-Kelly, he'll play it through. D'Agostini is onside, one player to beat. Excellent defending, or it would have been 5.
Fantastic defending right there by that man, Vitor Tunis. Fantastic defending, he got across, winning the ball. I tell you what, D'Agostini would have got in there. I mean, he's a quality player and he could have finished that. But again, we talk about fighting till the end. They're not giving up Core Valley, are they? They're just really, despite the red cards, it's really unfortunate. You know, with the first red card, Danny, this game could have been something. It could have been end-to-end, really competitive. You lose a player against the Menace, you're really going to struggle.
That's true, especially as that second half wears on. It's where Menace tend to be the scariest team in the USL League 2. This is Levi Vasconcelos, the substitutes from Gravata, Brazil. Long ball for no one in particular. It's probably a space where you'd have somebody occupied if you had 2 more players on the pitch. It's not the way that things turned out this evening. But, I mean, you've got to give credit to a Kaw Valley side that's battled, like you say, Justin, and this battling that they're putting out in the last 5 minutes or so of this match really speaks well to this organization, and an organization that's proven itself to be among those in the top tier in a very stacked Central Conference. You've got Flint City out here, you've got Chicago FC United, and Kaw Valley, I think, deserve to be one of those names at the top. What a turn that was. No foul given, but still a fantastic little dribbling move. Kaw Valley instead will go the other way, though. Pereira.
Rather surprised that wasn't given. It was a good move there by Elliot Goldthorpe. He was brought down. The referee allowed play to go on.
Moved out left, Isaac Johnson. Center of the pitch, Gutierrez. Loses out. In midfield, here come Menace. That one is taken away. Padilla will just send it back to Zeron Sewell. Padilla. Lofted ball over the top. Sent long, D'Agostini picks it up and he'll try to get around Niamsi. He does do so, taken down in the box. Referee says no, it'll be a handball for D'Agostini picking the ball up. There was no foul. It'll be a free kick for Kaw Valley instead.
Yeah, the AR on the far side was closer to the action. D'Agostini went down, handling the ball. You can see now the Kaw Valley players are tired. Coming up to the last couple of minutes left of the match, plus injury time. I don't foresee too much added on here for the second half. I think they're just playing through it now.
It's the only thing that either side can do is just finish this one out. 90th minute. Menace with pressure. A couple of guys on the ball. Neither one of them can win it, and a shirt pull will win Kaw Valley a free kick. They'll play it in quickly. Getting forward, but the referee will say that's all. 4-0 is the Menace win. Didn't feel that easy in the first half, but in the second 45 minutes, Menace took control, and it's a deserved win in the end, a dominant win in the end, and it's a win that will put them right back here on Sunday at 7 p.m. against Kings Hammer FC, that one being the Central Conference semifinal. For Justin and myself, Dan and Catula, quick break here, but we'll be right back on CISN for post-match coverage. We'll name our man of the match and give you some highlights as to how this one went down. See you guys for all that and more on CISN.
With over 260 beers on tap, El Bait Shop isn't just another craft beer bar. It's the best. Beer lovers know El Bait Shop, 200 Southwest 2nd, Des Moines.
The largest selection of German beer in the world, you'll find it at the Hessen House. From Doppelbocks to Oktoberfest to Hefeweizens and Dunkels, there's no passport needed for the deliciously different beer and food at the Hessen House. So grab your friends and make it a fun night out. The Hessen House, 4th and Court, Des Moines.
It takes a village to empower a young person to achieve their full potential. Yet today in America, 1 in 3 kids are growing up without a mentor. Together, we can change this. You can be that someone for a young person by becoming a mentor. Join the village. Big brothers, big sisters. Become a big today.
Back with you. Post-match coverage, 4-0 Des Moines Menace take home a big win over Caw Valley FC, who were serious challengers up until that second half when Menace were able to pull away. Justin Forster and myself, Danny Catula, in the CISN studio above Valley Stadium in West Des Moines. Justin, let's get a look at how we got here. 4-0 results, but it didn't always feel that comfortable.
Yeah, the Menace took a bit of pressure in the first half. But here you see the goal coming from Elliot Goldthorpe, breaking through, managed to win the ball, dispossessing the defender, cuts inside. As you can see, the advancing defender coming in, a little deflection, and manages to go into the back of the net. As you can see there, look again, just wins possession, cuts in, defender coming to close him down, opens the hips up, just slows the defender down slightly, a slight change of pace, and there you have it, 1-0. That's the first of 2 goals. Here you see Caw Valley Pereira breaking inside, trying to get on his right foot, but there's the ball that's cleared away, and guess what? Keita comes in and takes out Nenets, and luckily Nenets came back into the game. It was a horrific tackle, got a red card for that. Here you see the little dink over the goalkeeper's head there from Brewer, getting the second goal. It was absolutely fantastic. Little dink over the goalkeeper's head, Walsh, Brewer, great technique for the second goal of the match. Look at the celebration, wearing his jersey number 13. And then what a great ball play through. The delivery was awesome. Here goes Birmingham onto the ball for the 4th goal. He just slots it back to the keeper. Oh, sorry, that was Goldthorpe with the second goal. Absolutely brilliant. Why do they look alike? I don't know why, especially from a distance. But here he goes. And it was a replica of the 4th goal that's coming up here. But look at that. He's enjoying it, old Goldthorpe, catching a brace tonight. Ramsey Kelly playing a ball through, and here you have it, a replica of the 3rd goal. Birmingham breaking through, a little dink past the goalkeeper, and there you have it, the 4th goal, the nail in the coffin, as you can see. Here we go again. We'll see Birmingham, little touch, opens up the hips. Wow, and what a finish to put the Menace 4-0 up, and then into the next round on Sunday.
It was pace, it was poise, and it was a complete performance for Menace. 4-0, as you see. Goldthorpe at the double. Birmingham grabs one, and the new boy, Shaft Brewer Jr., gets on the score sheet as well. Justin, man of the match tonight, had to be the man who scored twice, Elliot Goldthorpe. Your thoughts on his performance?
Yeah, I agree. I think after last weekend, he knew it, and he made brilliant comeback. He got his head right mentally, performed well today, was winning tackles. His work rate was fantastic, just on and off the ball. Grabbing a brace today, you know, the Yorkshire Terrier raised his game, and you know now he needs to get some rest, as do the whole team. Looking forward to Sunday.
Yeah, the whole team needs to get rest. The CISN team up here probably needs to get some rest. I know you and I need to get some rest, Justin. It's been a long evening for all involved, but what a fun evening. I wouldn't have been anywhere else but right here. Fantastic play all day long with the first match, and now with this one. Menace, in the end, dominant.
Absolutely. Very dominant in the end. Soaked up a bit of pressure. dealt with it, scored the goal. There was the red card, but then after that, it was all the Menace with their momentum. They kept possession. They did well. And, you know, they just figured out core value in the beginning.
Well, the season rolls on for Des Moines Menace. Once more, 4-0 is the final score between Des Moines and Caw Valley FC. That means Des Moines is coming right back here on Sunday at 7 p.m. to Valley Stadium to take on Kings Hammer FC in the next round, the Central Conference semifinal and the national round of 16. Until then, right here on CISN, my name's Danny Cthulhu with Justin Forster alongside me, the entire CISN team, everybody making these broadcasts possible. We'd like to say thank you very much for listening. See you next time. And until we meet again, have a fantastic rest of your evening and be blessed.